one flower that I love the most is going to be the French.
Ooh, guys, I got some coffee. Mm. Check, see that was cool. Let's see. Let's see. Eh, Hey, when it tries to drag this thing over. There we go. Fixed. You're beautiful. Appreciate that hitting that smash and smashing that like button, guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Let's see. What else can we put? Yeah. I guess we can do some. Everybody doing? Oh, thank you so much, Charlie, for following. Appreciate you. Appreciate it. And smashing that like button as well. Appreciate y'all. Once again, we are live on TikTok as well as YouTube. So if you ever want to subscribe to YouTube, like I said, the time lapse will be done in well, not done, but it will be posted on YouTube. So those who miss out or can't, see the finishing process, you can check on YouTube when you subscribe and you know, check it there. Yeah. Let's see. So now we just right now we just doing the flats right now, just and just handling that. So yeah, we're just doing some good potion right here. I always tell y'all in anime I don't favor characters like that. I do like I try to just favor like like not favor but like kind of just favor all of them. Or have kind of sort of likability or have a likability to each character that I see on Kaiju number 8. And I always say when it came to anime, diving more into anime now than I never, that I haven't done when I was a kid. I've grown to watch a certain anime that doesn't kind of like keep characters, you know, in the next season and the season before, after that. So I tend to not favor anime characters like that, but Hoshina, I gotta love him from Kaiju number 8. Gotta love him. He's a cool character. He's pretty average, what I'm saying, but he just has a cool kind of thing with him, that I just enjoy. And sadly, man, Kaiju number 8 is done for the manga. So once the anime is done, I'm it's it. But they did release kind of like a another manga for it. It's not a continuation to the story, kind of like a layback, kind of like what they do on the side, kind of like a slice of life kind of situation with Kaiju number 8 with the new manga that they're doing for it. I think they got like 7 chapters, so I want to read that. Um, but yeah, I was hoping it was gonna like drop another manga. I was like, hold up, what you telling me is that you was dropping another manga, but nah, it wasn't. It's just a little slice of life kind of side story of other different stories, which I'm all for it too. And I'm all for that too. Oop, that's actually supposed to be blacked out right there. Hold on, I gotta push my tablet up a little bit so it's arched for me, so I can sit up straight. I need to start having my tablet set up, you know what I'm saying? Because I can't, I have a bad back. So, you know what I'm saying? I got degenerative disc disease, kind of just a mild case of it, but it does hurt like a mug. So it's like, I'm trying to do this for a living, get paid doing it, man. I love it, but I got to, I had a kind of like gotta have something hit me in the last 24 hours or in the last, I would say 12 hours. And, for those who are artists that are trying to do this for a living or, trying to make a business or something, I'm doing both. I want to do both. I want to make stories. Yo, thank you so much, creations for the oldies. Appreciate you, as well as for the pop and freestyle. Thank you, and for the you're awesome and live. So thank you so much for the gifts. Appreciate you for that. And I appreciate y'all so much for joining in and smashing that like button. Thank you. It does bring in a lot of people when hitting that smash button. So or smashing that like button. So I do really appreciate that. But yeah, so like I said, for those who are artists, or if you are, just watching and enjoy art, or trying to become an artist, or already an artist and trying to do something with it, like career, business, whatever. Um, like I said, man, it's tough. It is tough, and now due to the economy right now, it's a little bit harder. But I always believe in that. People who wants to invest in your stuff, they'll be there. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, though, I had a moment of clarity, and I felt like I've been too humble when it comes to my art. And what struck me to have this kind of clarity, I know some of y'all know Marlon Wayne, the Wayne brothers, and he just dropped a video on his Instagram where he said, "You can be humble as a person, but something that you want to do as business or career, you got to be a shark." You know what I'm saying? But you got to separate the two, because some people, when you try to be very strict when it comes to what you're doing and you're trying to make something out of it, you have to be strict. You got to be disciplined. You got to be consistent. And that kind of spoke to me when he had that. It was a kind of, I don't know what interview he was in on that, but he just posted it because it was an interview that he did. It probably was when he was doing the movie Him. But it was very, it gave me a moment of clarity to where, like, I think I should treat my art not as something to be humbled, but because I'm trying to do this as a career, and there's a lot of competition when it comes down to this. So when it comes to art, and I've been treating it too much passively. You know what I'm saying? And I need to come in strong with it. You know, um, and that's what I got to do. You know, I've been getting a lot of advice and through friends, family, mutuals, you know what I'm saying, like that. And then some vets, and I got you know, credit from a legend like Jim Shooter as well. For those who don't know about Marvel like that, he's like this guy that worked with Stan Lee over the years, and then eventually became an editor, and then eventually, of course, he retired, and then just did conventions and stuff like that. You know, Sadly, he passed away last year. So Jim Shooter was really cool. I had a brief conversation with him last year at my local Comic Con that he came to spot by because they were doing like a kind of like Shark Tank kind of event where they took like some vets or a couple legend people like I said Jim Shooter, Brian Shear, and there was two other judges. I can't remember their names unfortunately at the moment, but I believe they were a married couple if I'm not mistaken. But they was in it there, and I was able to get great notes from it, man, and it was all positive, man. It was not really too much nitpicking. How did I do this? How did I do that? Did I need to work on this? Did I need to work on that? More of like it was a certain scene I was doing visually for my one of my comic books, and it was kind of like a situation where I try to do like a TV static kind of feel, but they felt like trying to change it up and everything like that, so I changed it up, which I did now is just got rid of it and then just did complete images and gave like kind of a brief image of the beginning of the first issue that I was doing. So, but other than that, I got straight tens across the board when it came to my art style, the story I was pushing out and stuff like that. So it even gave me more clarity of what I should do and everything like that. But I think I've been a lot of too passive with my art, and especially when it comes down to my audience and stuff like that. And I've always talked about when it comes down to support, and people supporting and then having those pillars in place when people and one of those pillars are is being having people that supports and invest in what you're doing. But that was just like I said, it's just a pillar. What I'm saying there's a lot of other structures you can put in place, to help you become something whatever you're trying to become. For me, for instance, I want to do this full time. I want to, lock in, and I want to have the opportunity to, work with, people in the industry, let alone, indie, of course, indie creators as well. But like I said, I think I've been a little bit too passive for what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm gonna have to rearrange myself with that. There's a lot of things that my mutuals has been with me on this road in this journey that a few of them has been here for months, years with me. What's up, Bad? What's going on with you? And so for people who's watching YouTube and those who are right now watching TikTok, I think this is a conversation if you want to take charge of your life and want to do something for that you love to do as a career. I think you want to if you want to chime in, if you want to listen in, I'm here for it. I'm here to talk about it, or saying if you don't have time to listen right now, I know it's early in the morning. I just got off work because I work nights, so I know some of y'all probably getting ready for work or y'all, whatever y'all doing. But I know it's the weekend, so some of y'all have free time. But like I said, if you're gonna miss anything, YouTube is there. I will put this on. This will be posted on YouTube, so if you missed out anything on the live, don't fret. It will be on YouTube. For you to just chill and want to listen to it while you're doing whatever you're doing. Um, but yeah, I think I've been a little bit too passive with my artwork. And what I mean by passive, meaning just like any business, you gotta come in strong, you gotta come in hard, you gotta make sure to let people know this is what you're trying to do, this is what you are going to do. You know what I'm saying? And I think I've been a little bit too passive, like, maybe throw gifts here, maybe throw little likes here, maybe subscribe, maybe follow. Nah, fucking follow. Can subscribe. Excuse my language. But yeah, subscribe. Because I put in the work. I put in the ground. You can see this piece right here. You know what I'm saying? You can see the artwork around the whole entire Clip Studio paint right now. You see the background on my wallpaper that you see right here with my characters behind the Clip Studio program, and then you can see up top above the camera my other comic book page and stuff like that. I put in the work, so I think I've been a little bit too passive when it comes down to people. When it comes like to that, it's not gloating, it's not being prideful. It's because it's about I worked my hardest over the years, improving on a style that it's only unique to me and that only only nobody else will have but me. You know what I'm saying? And I always say everybody else will have their own individual style, their own uniqueness. So when I wouldn't say perfect, but when you master it and you put it out to the people, to the public, to your supporters, you know what I'm saying, to your followers, whatever, your fans, whatever you want to call, whoever, that's going to be there for your art, you need to let them know that you are secure in a spot. Because at the end of the day, this is a competition, regardless if you feel like it is or not. There's a lot of people in the line, in the crowd, that is trying to do this as a 9 to 5. People that's trying to get in the industry, people that's trying to get the stuff in museums or, or galas or galleries, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Go to Comic Cons and stuff like that, become a guest at events and everything like that. People are fighting to try to get that, compete out of love of it, trust me. But some people, they do it for the wrong reasons, but some people just do it for the competition because they love it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not taking away their style. It's not taking away what they're doing in their stories or their characters and nothing like that. And that's where I have to kind of put my foot down and be like, hey, I'm doing this shit. If you want to support it, fuck with you, fuck with me. Let's get this work done. You feel me? I have a Patreon. If you want to join it because people are going to be missing out. If you miss out, whoop de doo, you know what I'm saying? You keep life keeps going on. But the people who's not missing out, they join that Patreon, they see exclusive content, they read my comic books early. Not all the pages, but some pages. I'll drop like maybe like four pages, maybe 5, maybe even 8 pages at the max. But I want to try to get up there to where I'm doing at least maybe like 20, maybe 22, maybe 25 pages per issue. Try to get up to that level. But for now, I stick to like 15. So you'll mostly like see like maybe like 5, 6, maybe 8 pages, you know what I'm saying, until we get a Kickstarter started for the book and then y'all can get it released. But I want to do at least 2 fanfic comics with my characters and with Predators as well as Hellboy. So you're definitely going to see that in the Patreon. As well as crossover stuff that I like to do with my characters. Like, of course, I have my character Gaia as well as my other character Talia. 2 different characters in 2 different comic books crossing over with a couple. Some of y'all can already see it in the on the TikTok right now. You can go on TikTok right now and see the pages of what they look like. But for Patreon, they get to see the dialogue, they see the storytelling in it, and then also after that, they get to see more of the continuation of those four panels or those 4 pages, excuse me, and then the continuation of that. So don't miss out. Don't feel like, hey man, this is a guy that just does art on live. Now I do this shit to love it. I do it to grind for it. I do it every day. I'm not falling off. I'm not gonna be a guy that's gonna be like, hey, I'm doing this one day and then you ain't hearing me for 5 days. Nah, if you don't hear me for 5 days, just know people are gonna be like, yo, JR is cooking right now. That's why you don't hear him for 5 days straight, because he's cooking. Watch when he comes back on social media, he gonna be dropping shit left and right. Stay dropping. And that's how I'm gonna have to put my foot down when it comes to my art, because I think I've been too passive with it. I've been too passive. I've been trying to think like I'm feeling like if I come in too strong, I feel like some people gonna be thinking I'm arrogant or too prideful or negative. Nah, fuck that shit. Because at the end of the day, I'm good at what I do. I am blessed at what I do. And as me as a person, I'm humbled to know that people who looks at me as a mentor or someone who motivates them or inspires them, I am humble for that, for the people that comes in and enjoys what I do, what I talk about, the vibes that we come. But when it comes to the art, when it comes to trying to make it as a business, as a career, I need that humble shit is away. So when we lock in, we come in on stream, we can have the love, we can have the vibes and everything like that, but we know we are doing a business. We know we are trying to bring people in to invest, and that is it. You feel me? Other than that, you know what I'm saying? I know you got other artists that's in your wing that you love. I keep supporting those artists. If you know any artists that you want me to see, let me know, because I have a lot of room for a lot of artists to fill in the space of loving and supporting their stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you don't always gotta purchase nothing. You don't always gotta, be like, hey, if you don't got the money, that's cool. But no, I'm gonna always be there. I'm gonna always still be putting down shit at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I am never gonna fall off on my stuff and my artwork. But what I need people to do is check out the Patreon. You can join it for free until you're ready to feel like you want to invest in it, because that's where I'm mostly gonna be doing my content. I'm not going to be public anything anymore as much. Y'all know I haven't been on, I don't be streaming as that like that anymore on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably come in maybe once or 2 days, 2 days or so, and that's it. There's no everyday streaming now. There's no 5 days, no 4 days, no 3 days. I mean, you probably see me probably 2 days. And then if you see me within 3 days, 3 times, if I'm streaming 3 times a week, that maybe that first or third or second or third time, I'm probably just talking. Just got a piece of artwork up right there and just chit chatting. You know what I'm saying? He said they do grow up so fast. He said it's about time you stop being humble. And that's the thing, man. I really have to stop being that because I'm not seeing no progression being humble when I'm trying to make this a business and I'm trying to make this as a career. You know what I'm saying? Trying to play the nice guy or a positive person is not going to always get people in. They want to see, some people want to see you put money where your mouth is. Some people want you to be like, nah, you talking sweet to me. I want to see something. I want you to tell me to go here. I want you to tell me like, yo, what would I get from you that no artist would do? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said like the certain amount of people that are artists, they do Patreon, Twitch, whatever, their own business, commissions. But then even certain people struggle. They're like, man, I don't know how to get commissions. I don't know how to do this. I be telling them I haven't got commissions in months. You feel me? I draw like this. I draw like this. Where Jim Shooter, the legendary Jim Shooter, looked at my work and said, "This shit is go." Well, he ain't cuss, but he was really ready for Earth Eternal Heroes. So when I hear somebody like a legend telling me that they ready to read my comic book, and I'm looking at the public, not like, yo, I need commission. JR, are you available? Yo, JR, I need you to do a cover for me. You available? Hey, yo, JR, I want you to do a couple pages. Are you available? Like I literally had Jim Shooter tell me that he is ready to read my comic book. Rest in peace to him because he's not here no more. But he literally legit said he is ready to read my comic book. A legend, someone who worked next to Stan Lee and then became the editor after Stan Lee. Did Marvel Secret Wars, the actual comic book Secret Wars, the OG. And he says he's ready to read my comic book. Like, come on. So yeah, people are bullshitting me. They think I'm just some average artist Joe or something. Like I do this just when I feel like doing it. Like I do it for fun. I do it for fun, but I do my shit though because I want to make money from it. I want to make a career from it. I want people to buy my work, put it on their walls. I want them to take pictures of it, and I want them to say, "Yo, Jay, I got your artwork on my wall, son. I got like mad shit on your artwork on my wall." I'll be like, "Bet, let me get you more free shit." You know what I'm saying, on your wall. Yeah, what's going on? Appreciate you for joining in. What's up? What's up with you? But that's what I mean. I need to stop being passive with my artwork. I need to stop being passive. It's not telling me like, "Hey, I'm not," like I said, at the end of the day, I'm not being prideful, but I am good at what I do. I am great at what I do. I cook at what I do. I'm gonna keep cooking in that kitchen. What a DC Young Par said, they gonna be that kitchen, boy. Everybody gonna have their hand down. Even though there's not a plate made for you, you gotta keep cooking. Cause you're the chef, dog. So I'm gonna keep that mindset on me. And like I said, it took Marlon Wayne. Like I said, the Wayne brothers. He just posted a video, maybe like yesterday or the day before yesterday, about that. It's good to be a humble person, but what you trying to do for a living, you got to be a shark. You feel me? But he always said, make sure to separate those two. Separate your personality or your personal self. Be humble. Be know where you came from. Be know that there's people that support you. But then when it comes down to the business, your art, and you try to get commissions, you try to get people to buy your prints, you try to get people to let you in the door. Like, yo, I want you to guest at my Comic Con. I want you to do an art piece for this event that I'm doing. I want your artwork in my gala. It's because why? I ate. ate at it. I was good at it. I'm great at it. And I always tell every artist to be proud of your work. Be proud of that shit. Because you put years into it. Don't be humble with it. Eat at it. Tell people who you are as a artist. There's a lot of us out here, but you yourself, your own techniques, your skills, your style, definitely your style, is going to separate you from any other artist out here. And you tell people, fuck with my shit, I'll make sure I ain't never let your ass down when I drop this stuff. I'm always going to drop heat for you. 110%. Every time when I drop your favorite character, every time when I drop my comic books, every time I drop merchandise, it's always going to be heat every time when I drop that shit. Never below 110%. And that's how I'm gonna start doing, guys. That's how I'm gonna keep doing it. Straight facts. He said, not gonna lie, I thought it was good until I got humbled to up. Whoa, hold on. He said, uh, yeah, and that would motivate anybody. But hold on. Let me. He said, not gonna lie, I thought I was good until I got humbled. Somebody animator. See, that's what I'm saying. You got humbled because someone said, "Hey, you do good work, but you need to work on this." I bet. That's the beauty of the competition. That's the beauty of art. You get better. You don't stay. You don't stay. You don't get worse. You get better. There's no such thing as going back. You go up. Keep going. Keep getting better. But if you stop, who's gonna fuck with that? No one's gonna fuck with that. Keep posting. Keep showing people your artwork. You tell people, don't be nice. Be like, yo, fuck with my shit. Because I'm consistent with it. I drop piece after piece after piece every single time. What artist do you have to see in the last 24 hours that had dropped piece after piece after piece? Straight work. Not a whole hundred. Not you can't name 5 artists that does that. Shoot, that's why I said the work speaks for itself. And I want y'all to do the same thing. I want y'all to be disciplined. I want y'all to be consistent. I want y'all to tell people who you are and what you do. But being humble for what you're trying to do as a career, it's not going to work. I see that because I wasted so many years on TikTok where I be seeing people getting money from it. You know what I'm saying? And then those who artists that are getting money from it, they got to do sponsorships. They got to tell somebody to buy something of somebody else's work. What's that? What is that? That's no different than me working someone else's stuff, like a 9 to 5. Why they making more money off of me promoting their stuff? I could make more money getting my own shit out while helping other artists getting their shit out. So now both of us is making money, and we're making more money because people are seeing the collaboration, the teamwork, the effort of what we putting out. Now everybody like, yo, fuck what happening over there. These 2 guys are doing something over here that's unique. And I fuck with that. That's what I want people to see. And that's what I had to see. Because at the end of the day, man, TikTok did something great for us years ago, but now it is trash. Well, I'm not trying to shit talk it, but it's just not doing the way it's supposed to for artists. Instagram Ben ain't trying to do nothing for artists. You drop, you would think you have 1,000 people following you, friends, family, whatever. You would think you may hit like 20, 30, 30 likes, you know what I'm saying? But nah, that's not the case. Sometimes you probably get 5, 10. Shit, some people don't get nothing. And you know, when I see people that don't get nothing, and I see great artwork, or even artwork they're trying to get better at, I like that shit. I repost that shit. Sometimes I even post it in my story. And I'll be like, yo, I know what they're going to do when they get better. But people don't see it that way. You got to think of it. People don't see it that way. They're going to be like, well, this shit is terrible. I ain't trying to fucking like that shit. I ain't trying to have that in my algorithm. Well, fuck you. I am. Because I know they're going to get better. I've seen it. People who wanted my advice, wanted to know how I draw, and I taught them. It may not be like a lesson or a course, but they learned a lot. and said, "Yo, JR, you helped me a lot doing this. So I want y'all to not be humble with your artwork. I want y'all to be I want y'all to be a shark. I want y'all to be strong. I want y'all to know my shit is gonna get me somewhere. But you as a person, be humble that you learned certain things from different artists. Be humble that you have people that support you. Be humble that you're able to do this. I believe in y'all guys. I don't lie to y'all. I believe in y'all. I always keep it 10 toes down on my lives. I believe in y'all. But I want y'all to do the same thing for me. I want y'all to do the same for me. If you are new on this live or you just happen to like, oop, I scrolled by accident, stick around. Because if you like comic books, original characters, shit, different style even, you came to the right place. You came to the right place. Yeah. Hey, listen. And I'm glad I did. And I'm glad I did. And we still got more. We still got more to do. We still got more work to get done. You feel me? We still got more work to do. So, like I said, guys, Patreon is always up for y'all. Y'all want to see exclusive work? I'm gonna be doing behind the scenes. I'll be doing crossover stuff with my comic book characters. I'm gonna be doing at least 2 fanfics. That's about it. I ain't gonna do no more after that though. But if you love Hellboy, guarantee one of my characters. I'm doing Hell's Angels, the one that you see right here behind the behind Hoshino right here. This right here. Those characters. I want to do something with Hellboy with them. Predator. I want something to do with space travel. Character May Bird that you see up above me on the screen. I want to do something with that, with her and the Predator franchise, with a fanfic. You're gonna see that on my Patreon. If you like that doodle art, fuck with that shit too. I got another tier list for that side. But like I said, starting April 10th, Gaia, issue 1, you're gonna get about 13 pages. I'm gonna drop y'all 13 pages. And I'm gonna see if y'all gonna be there. If I see the same number that I'm looking at as I look at right now, like April 10th, I better see people being like, yo, he said April 10th. He dropping that shit. He dropping his comic book April 10th on Patreon. Couple pages. And then he's gonna do a Kickstarter after that. I want to see what this brother got. You feel me? That's all I'm asking y'all is to have faith in me. Trust in me. Because I'm gonna give y'all some good stories, some good characters. I'm gonna give y'all that shit. I don't play no games. I'm gonna give y'all that shit. When y'all be like, damn, ain't nothing to watch or nothing to read. Well, mostly read. I don't do animation, but you be like, dang, ain't nothing really to read right now. I need to read something new. I got you. I got you. I'm gonna be cooking. See that down there? See that down there? Join my Patreon, JR Arts 94. You can just join it for free for now. You can join it for free for now. But I promise you. Oh yeah, I know you are. I know you still a member. I know you're still a member for sure. But I remember it knocked you out because it knocked you down because I had to change some stuff up. So people who are already a member, they got knocked out of it and became just free members for now. But yeah, like I said, and then I changed the price. You can if you want to check out my Guna art, you want that cord, I got you. $3 a month. Now if you want my comic books and stuff, $5 a month. Can't beat that. Can't beat that. So you want some original comic books, some original characters, some mythology, some superheroes, some supernatural, space traveling. I got it all, baby. I'm working on 6 titles. 6 titles. My boy E, my boy Everett, dropped 6 comic books for Flame. I want to drop at least 3 titles of 3 different comic books. But I have almost 6 to 7 written down. First issues already written. Some of them scripted. Some of them already got character designs. We there. And then half of them already got cover art. And some of them y'all can already see on my page. 6 books, one man, writer and artist. I don't play games, guys. I'm not an artist that you join on your For You page and just be like, ah, man, he just drawing. Nah, I eat. I cook. And with seasoning. Okay? Y'all always gonna be fed fucking with me. Pardon my language. Again. That's what I'm saying. I just want to give y'all that message. I want to make more videos about it because sooner or later I'm not gonna do many time lapses anymore. I'm gonna be doing videos of myself talking about this stuff and everything like that. But mostly I like talking on stream because I like that it's happening now presence. So if I do drop a video about what we're talking about now, it's already gonna be recorded. But this is already gonna be on YouTube once we stop streaming. It's already gonna be on YouTube. So I'm gonna take what we have on YouTube, gonna chop it up. I'm gonna put it on TikTok, Instagram, and we're gonna talk about this. Because 6 books, guys, 6 titles. Earth Returner Heroes, Gaia, the main continuity of the series. Tora, Daughter of Thunder, a spinoff to that series. 11 issues is already written and scripted. All I gotta do is the damn art. But it's already written and scripted. 11 whole issues. Space Travel, the one you see right here. 5 issues, written and scripted. And I already started the concept art for half of the characters already. That's going to be part of the main 5 issues. I'm already drawing it as we speak. Hell's Angels, Supernatural, Demonic Celestial spin-off to Earth Returner Heroes, a prologue. I already got a first issue written down, and I already got cover art already. Amy and the Apex, a sisterhood music theme comic book. Already got a whole issue written down. And character design art already, or concept art already. I didn't know I was a vampire until I died, showing respect to isekai anime. And supernatural. And vampires. Already got the first issue written down. And some of the character designs already started. And covers. For issue 1, 2, and 3. Motherfucker. So, guys, what I'm telling you right now, don't treat me like some average Joe artist. 6 books, one man, writing, scripting, and drawing. Ain't nobody done that. Ain't nobody done that. I'm trying to make a milestone, guys. And I want y'all to make a milestone for yourselves. And not only that, I even have 2 mutuals that has official characters part of my comic book already. Because you know why? They stuck around, they support, they invest in my stuff. Now they got, one of them got 2 characters that's been part of Hell's Angels. And my boy Bad Imagery right here that's in the comment section, he got a character that we came out, well, he already designed the character. I just remade it to be part of the, the style of my comic book. Me and him got Diego. That's what happens when you fuck with me as an artist. You get shit. I make sure y'all eat good. Y'all just got to help me out on getting this shit done. And that's supporting the Patreon, YouTube, just being there. You feel me? He said, "Oh, show me something. When were you at the start of production after finishing your first chapters? How did you get okay, I'll wait till you finish your typing. We're gonna chop it up like that. I will. I am. So here's the kicker. For me to how do I start it? And this will be a guide to how I'm starting my college because I am one person. I have nobody else writing this. I have nobody else drawing. Nothing. It's all me. So how do you do it managing 6 books and trying to get it out, right? Now, unfortunately, the one thing that will slow you down is the production of the book, getting it made. Because Me, I'm focusing on my comic books, but also commissions as well. So as you see fan art, I do that on the side as well as trying to manage my online store. So I'm doing a lot of stuff as an artist than just making my comic books. You feel me? I'm trying to do any type of direction that helps fund my comic books, as well as stay into the course of doing art, period. So, how to manage it? You got to write your story first. Obviously, right? Get your characters made. Me, I like to start out with my characters first. My characters define my story. So I start with my characters. I feel what they feel how I want their personality to be. So I start that. Then I start the comic. I start writing. Then I just what comes in my mind, I put down on the paper. I put it, or in this case, Microsoft Word. I write it down. I just jot whatever I feel like the story should go. As long as it stays intact, I just write it. Then once I feel like it's complete, I reread it and be like, I like it. Then I script it, make a script out of it. So now that when I do the script and everything like that, that's when I get to the artwork. I start doing the concept sheets, basically doing character designing and all that. And then I'll just go straight to the comic book. That's my method. Now, unfortunately, me doing it by myself, I have to skip certain stages that some people have that don't do when they have a team. That's like thumbnailing sometimes. Sometimes you'll do thumbnailing. I don't do thumbnailing or storyboarding. Some people do storyboarding. I don't do storyboarding. I just do my right. I do the story. I do a brief story of the plot. I do the script, finalize it or proofread it. I get somebody else to read it or people who are close to me that I rather have, I'll let them read it. There's a lot of people that read it. There's a few people that I let read my comic books early. I'm talking like rough, like it's a script, paper, copy, staple that shit. Here you go. Here's the script. Some people said, yo, I love what you're doing. Keep it up. I did it. My sister, she's a big reader. I had her read I Didn't Know I Was a Vampire Till I Died. She read that. She was asking questions of what's going to happen next. I was like, you don't know what's happening next? That means I cooked. Okay? Space travel. I got my homeboy. He's also an artist as well. I have him on board after I get finished with the 5 issues for space travel. He's going to be the new writer coming in for the rest of the series with me. So now I have another writer with me for space travel. So 1/6, me and him working together. So now you're going to see his name on the front cover too as the writer. He read all 5 issues. He said I cooked. I said, God damn. I said, oh my gosh. So trust me, guys. I got y'all when it comes to these books. I just want y'all to support me. Have faith in me. I ain't gonna let y'all down. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna let y'all down. But we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep drawing though. But if y'all have any questions or anything like that, I appreciate y'all for joining in, smashing that like button, and everything like that. And I appreciate y'all for following as well. I know I'm missing anybody who's been following or throwing in gifts, man. But I do really appreciate that. But like I said, make sure to join that Patreon. You can join it for free. It's like I said, just be ready when it's ready. Like I said, April 10th. That's when Gaia issue 1 it drops. A couple of pages. Get the early access to it to read it, all dialogue, as well as my crossover comic book, the 4 pages of Earth Eternal Heroes Gaia. And I Didn't Know I Was a Vampire Till I Died. You get those 4 pages, and I'm gonna continue those 4 after those 4 pages too. I'm gonna try to drop them every month. It just depends because, like I said, I'm working on a lot of stuff, a lot of projects as well. So, like I said, I'm mostly space travel right now. It's my main focus right now. So I am dropping some. I will be dropping some pages for space travel, a little bit of some line art and stuff like that, and some color. It won't be. I won't drop the dialogue though because, like I said, I want to go ahead and start. I want to do a Kickstarter, the space travel. So I'm a just for people who do the Patreon to get the early access, you're just gonna see the artwork and stuff like that, and how the panels and the storytelling is gonna be, but it just won't have no dialogue on it. But Yeah, this is my plan. This is my goal. This is gonna be my. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life, guys. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. It's what I'm good at. And I always tell people, if you're good at something, never do it for free. Quote, you already know that. Joker said it. Joker said it. Heath Ledger Joker said it. Good at something, never do it for free. And what Marlon Wayne said, be humble as a person, but you be a shark when it comes to your business. Because people got to know if you're serious. People don't know that you're serious. You're new. You're talking about stuff that no one heard of. So now you got to convince them to see how serious you are. And if me saying I'm working on 6 books ain't serious enough, I don't know what anybody doing. I could drop them. Hold on. Where that? Where that? Where that? I'll drop them right now. I'll drop my cover art right now as we speak. There it is. Hold on. No, that's not it. That's not it. I'll drop the cover art right now and show you how many titles I have as we speak. Hold on. Let me plug it in. 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 Let me. I'm gonna show y'all right now. For those who are new, I'm gonna show y'all right now. And we ain't playing no games. We ain't just talking to talk. We here to show and tell. So you said I'm at a point where I am not sure if I'm overthinking it. I have a prologue written, and I have a see. I overthink too. Don't worry, I overthink too. And you know what's the beauty of it? I jot it down. If you feel like you overthinking, if it's about your story or anything like that, or your comic books, write it down. But if you're thinking about personally that you're overthinking, I do it all the time. I overthink it like, is my shit gonna be good enough? Is my characters gonna look good? Is people gonna love my characters? When they see my characters, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I love these characters. I feel like I want to get to know what these characters are going to do in your comic book. You gotta throw that out the window. You just gotta stay consistent. Keep drawing them. Talk about them here and there. People are gonna ask questions about them. Like, who is you drawing? You know what I'm saying? I'm drawing my character. And if people that ask questions after that, oh yeah, they're invested. People are gonna be like, oh shit, damn, hold up. I'm seeing something I ain't never seen before. Is your book out right now? Nah, it's not out right now. Bet. I'm gonna make sure to follow. I'll make sure I'm gonna stay in the what's the basically in the win, I guess. He said, man, what are you talking? Which one? Who are you talking about? Who are you talking to? But yeah, hold on before we go to another conversation. But yeah, look, check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Oh, wrong one. Check this out. We're gonna go to the JPEG, right? We're gonna go to the JPEG. Where's it at? Where's it at? Oh, here it is. Look at all this stuff. Look at all this stuff right here. Ah, these are different comic books. Some of them continue, like say for instance, Chibi, Aphrodite and Buddha. Everybody loved Aphrodite and Buddha. Everybody loved those two characters, man. I was shocked that people love those two characters. I was like, I'm gonna do a chibi version of them. This is one of their official chibi covers. Them riding a dragon. You feel me? I didn't know I don't draw dragons, guys. But I was like, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. And look at it. Oh, okay. So you're not. Hey, I may be too big. I'll be a little bit too busy to do people's comic books. But if you ever need cover art, I am never too busy. Unless business started booming or something. But I ain't never too busy to do cover art, guys. So if you have any cover art that you want to do, OCs that you need design, like some illustration just to kind of get the the image out, I got you. I did it numerous times where somebody took a description. They gave me a very detailed description too, and I recreated that character. Of course, it's going to be in my style. If you have a certain selected style, but I always tell people if you're trying to make your comic book to be a certain style, don't let that hold you back because at the end of the day, I tell people like this. I think that slows people down a lot when they be trying to be like, well, there's a certain style I want my characters to be, but you don't have an image yet. I just tell people if the artist's art is good and their style is good, just pay them to get it, just to get that image out. To be like, oh snap, I love what you just did right here. You might never know. You might change your mind and be like, oh no, hell no, I like this style better. I like this style now. So I might have to do this. But like I said, comic variants is a thing. Okay, for those who don't know, but comic variants are a thing. Different styles in every cover. Every cover is going to be a different style. Some people they just pay the same artist to do the same different covers every time, but people wants to have different variety, different covers or whatever. Sometimes they'll release a first issue and they'll be like, "Well, I got like 4 different cover variants of the first issue." People will buy that and be like, "Oh, bet I want all 4 of them because they're different." So, but if you're saying you're a writer, you're not an artist, don't be afraid to get any artist that you feel that has great skill in character designing. That could take what you're talking about and actually put it on the paper. Because that's the same thing with Stan Lee. Stan Lee couldn't get the image of Spider-Man until Steve drew it for him. So at the end of the day, sometimes you can do it yourself. Sometimes you just need a collaboration. You need that person, you need that partner to be like, hey, I can't get this image out. Can you do it for me? Boom, bet. They didn't think about, oh well, your style is different, so I don't want the I don't I can't figure out how my character's gonna look if your style's something that I want it to be. You know what I'm saying? It's not saying that your style is bad, but it's just like it's just not gonna fit what I want my character to look like. Okay, and that's slowing you down. So don't let that slow you down as a writer. If you're not an artist, don't let that slow you down. You get any type of thing to I'm trying to reword it a certain way. Um, but basically is just don't let nothing slow you down. Invest in yourself. Invest in the work. So any artist that is available for you and they do great work, they're consistent, they push out content, not content, but piece after piece, I think that's worth paying, spending your money on. That's me, hands down. But yeah, I'm always available for cover art all the time. I'm always available for cover art. I love doing that. I do it for all my comic books. He said it's actually quite hard to find sci-fi slash cyberpunk artists. Definitely might take you up on a cover. Yeah, like I said, um, with space travel, I am working a little bit more on the direction between sci-fi. Sci-fi is a new entryway for me, but I do enjoy sci-fi a little bit. So, space travel is my only sci-fi story that I am working on. Um, but it's very interesting. It is hard, but it's very interesting to do. But I could show you some covers that I've done for my sci-fi comic as we show. Because like I said, I'm still showing y'all some stuff. Like say for instance, all this right here for a space travel here. I can show y'all this right here. These are the concept sheets for it. I think I got a couple more of the characters. Hold on. Oh yeah, yeah. Here you go. I'm gonna just drop all these right here all at once so y'all can see. So now what I'm about to show y'all is all of space travel, right? This is the comic book I'm working on as we speak. So this is one of the creatures that I'm working on for one of the aliens that Maybird, the character up the top, that she encounters at the beginning of the first 5 issues. The robot crew that's a part of her ship. 3 different versions of them. Got the maintenance robots, got the medic robots, and we got the security robots. Maybird's gear and her outfit. So this is all her gear that you're going to see her throughout the series having. Maybird herself, the character, her 28-year-old self, and an older version of herself. The ship, which I redesigned now. I did redesign the ship's wings now, so it doesn't look like the turbines here no more. So I did change that in the comic. But yeah, this is what the ship looks like. One of the main characters, Johor. Like I do this. I do this, guys. I don't sleep. I don't sleep. You said I also like critique, which in my mind is kind of partially negative. Like I want to hold on, I'm gonna say, boy, that sci-fi push you to your limits. Yeah, sci-fi do push you to sci-fi and fantasy will push you to your limit. It will push you to your limit because supernatural, you can just stick to one category. You can stick to like vampires. and that's a supernatural book. Superheroes, easy. You got a lot of superhero stories, so you can stick with that. What else? What's another genre? Romance, easy. All you gotta do is just know a person. You just gotta work with personality. Know how you what you want a romance to be, or you absorb romance. I would say comedy would be maybe the next in line as the more like the third hardest because some people just can't get comedy. Sometimes it's just like I even research like what makes something funny in a book. If it they say usually if it makes you laugh, put it down. You said mystery is hard to write too. I think mystery is hard as well. I think I would add mystery to that too because when it comes to mystery or thriller, you got to stick to the plot. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be really mis definitely mystery mysterious with it. You know what I'm saying? Got to learn how to make it linger. You know what I'm saying when it comes to mystery. But yeah, I think so. Yeah, let's chalk that up. Sci-fi, fantasy, mystery, as well as comedy. I think it's one of the four hardest things to write. Now, there could be some other subjects in there too. There could be a lot of other stuff. But I think suspense kind of comes hand in hand. I think suspense can always work its way into it because suspense can work in any of those categories. You know what I'm saying? But like just those main can kind of like have you like scratch your brain and really like, yo, I gotta take some aspirin because she got my head hurting. And sci-fi definitely have my head hurting. But I still do it though. I still do it. Horror is definitely hard to draw. What's your level of gore and darkness? Horror, I would say definitely is very hard to draw. Because when I drew, because like I say, I didn't know I was a vampire until I died. The comic book that I'm making for that is a supernatural story, but it's kind of like a good paying homage to isekai anime, reincarnated animes, for instance. Like I love reincarnated slime. So for my character Talia, she got unalived and then she became a vampire. So now that gives you the curiosity of like, hold up, is she in another world? No. Okay, so if she's not in another world, how did she become a vampire? Because I know you got to get bit, or you are either born a vampire. And I'd be like, that's the fun in it. She doesn't know. Some other vampires in her story don't even know how that even happens. So what's the trick to it? How's it possible? And that's the whole story based on the plot of how did she become a vampire if she neither got bit or born one, or she wasn't transferred or went to another world to become one. How's that possible? And that's the beauty of the story behind it. But horror itself is really hard to draw because I'm thinking about, okay, how am I gonna get this story scary? So I said, let me not do scary. Let me do something that boosts your anxiety up, that gets your anxiety pumping. Like, oh my God, I just gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't want that predicament happening to me, you know, type situation. I think I love watching horror, but I think my anxiety goes through the roof when I watch it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't jump up and get scared, like, you know what I'm saying? But I just feel that tingle in the back, like, nah, you know what I'm saying? I might get a little joke, like a little, damn, that kind of scared me a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But it is hard to draw though. To execute it the right way, that's where you get other artists involved. People who does horror or people who does romance, absorb their stories, read their stories. Like Polexery, I'm probably mispronouncing their name, but they do uh two comic books. One of them you can read them both on Patreon. You can both read. You can read them on Patreon because I read one of them on a website that they have it on, and it was great. Great horror to it, but it also gave a sort of mystery, a suspense to it. So not only that, it has elements of horror, mystery, suspense, thriller, but also has action into it too. So it worked hand in hand. But Cam, I'm gonna go back to your comment real quick. You said obelisks. mine is kind of a mix of sci-fi, fantasy, cyberpunk, horror, and thriller, and action. Oh yeah, you got a lot of genres playing a part of it, and I like that. But that's gonna put a lot on your plate. But I know it's achievable. I know that's achievable though. Paneling plays a big part in it all. Exactly. Paneling, I've heard definitely paneling in a horror story definitely will make or break your whole entire comic book. How you do the angles, how you do panels. I'm actually studying that right now. Even though I'm not working on I don't know how to vampire until I died, or I call it IDK for short. But even though I'm not working on IDK right now, I am still studying on how to hit my panels a certain way, especially when it comes to horror. Now, when it comes to Earth Eternal Heroes, space travel, I don't have to do that too much. You know what I'm saying? Because they're different genres. They're not horror. One of them is a superhero mythology story. One of them is a sci-fi solo action story. You know what I'm saying? So I could play a good part in not doing too much crazy panels in it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the best part. But yeah, like I said, these are the concept sheets and stuff like that. I was supposed to show y'all all this stuff like that and everything like that. But yeah, this is the concept sheets for space travel and stuff. I'm gonna try to keep pushing and showing y'all the concept sheets for those who are interested in my artwork and my work and stuff like that in my comic books that I'm making. But yeah, that's the you see how many cover you already see how many concept sheets I'm already doing for that book alone. So that's why I said unfortunately my flash drive kind of my old my flash drive with all my work and stuff like that kind of went kaput on me. So I got to get that data extracted from it and then put it on another flash drive. So for now, I've already progressed it a lot for space travel when it comes down to the for like I said for the concept sheets and stuff like that. So all I got to do is just draw the book. That's all I got to do. I already have the 5 issues wrote and scripted. I even have a lore book and notes as well. I kid you not, I got it all. So I kid y'all not. I'm not an artist. I'm not your average, your everyday Joe artist. I'm building something. I'm building brick by brick. You feel me? So I'm telling you, I'm not playing. I don't play with my art, guys. I do not play with my art. So I make sure if you ever commission me, want me to work on a project, collab, whatever, I make sure I'm gonna eat every time. I always tell people, put 110% in something that you love to do. Show people you don't play nothing. You don't play no games. There's a lot of people that does the same thing that we do, and they fall off. They quit. Life gets to them. They get too busy. They don't do it no more. They do it as a hobby. They just do commissions. They do other people's stuff like commissions. You're just doing other people's work. It may be in your style, but it's somebody else's IP. It's not your own. But then eventually, people are doing their own stuff now. There's some great artists that y'all probably follow right now. You see them doing fan art here and there, but then eventually they do their own stuff now. They draw their own characters. If they're already not doing it, they start doing their own characters, start their own story. Sometimes you don't gotta do a story to make your own character. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter that are artists that has a lot of a great fan base. I'm talking they hit 20K, 100K, you know what I'm saying, followers, whatever like that. They get likes every time when they post. 15 minutes, bro, that shit blowing up like 1,000 likes or something. I'm like, damn. I'll be jealous. I'm like, damn. How you do that? You know what I'm saying? Said definitely know you know you said I definitely know the world though. That's good. Definitely knowing the world will play a big part in your stories as well. And see his struggle, the antagonists, the big strugglers, excuse me, not strugglers, but struggles, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, definitely knowing how the world works and how your world works will come hand in hand. People love lore. I love lore. I love reading people's stories that's based on lore. Sure, yeah, you can just tell a story and just say, I'm gonna just tell a story and call it a day. But when you apply lore to it, it applies more to your story, more details, more different possibilities. Like I may be talking about this one MC, but because I have so much lore in my story, I can start another character and have another story. So now I'm like, you Marvel Comics. I'm gonna just use Marvel because I love Marvel. I'm gonna just use them as example. But basically that's what it is. How they started just doing some few characters. Then next you know they started having their own solo series. And then now everything expanded. I want that for Pick'em Comics. I want to start from one character to the next character to the next character, so on and so forth. To where now we have a whole universe. So when people say, what's Pick'em Comics? when they look at that logo and they be like, "What's Pick'em Comics?" And they be like, and the people who read my comic books and who invested in my stuff, I'll be like, "I'll put you on." He has this, and that, and I'm like, "Damn, he don't got no team." Nah, that brother does it all himself. Yes, it may be slow to get the books out, but the work is being done. People are seeing the work being done. It's not that I'm not doing the whole. Yeah, my book is ready. It's out. Nah. I want it to be nice. I want it to make the first impression is the best impression. So, like I said, with Gaia, I worked on that first issue 3 times. 3 times. The third time, I got it where I wanted it to be. And as soon as I was done with the book, my flash drive became unresponsive. I was mad, guys. That was like 2 weeks ago. I was mad. Promise you, I was mad. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna release the few pages of Gaia. Whoever wants to read it, it'll be on Patreon. $5 a month. Get early access to it. But that book will be continuing though. But it's just that's my biggest, most vast, my vastly universal book ever. Earth Eternal Heroes has about three spin-offs, and then the main continuity of Gaia's story, because she's the main line of the whole entire Earth Eternal Heroes franchise. She's gonna have, I believe I said I was gonna do maybe like 6 arcs, 10 issues in each arc. Woo! That's a lot of work for one guy. Plus, I got more stories to tell. So I'm telling you guys, I ain't gonna let y'all down. But Amy the Apex, my loves. Oh, whoa, hold up. Oh, no wonder that's a no. But that is one of the covers though. But like I said, here's I'll show y'all, like I said, more covers of Aphrodite and Buddha. These are actually the official covers for them. So once Patreon starts building up, I will be starting to do like kind of like comic strips, like news comic strips and stuff like that, like 4 pages and stuff like that. They just do little quests or something like that. So I'm gonna try to like probably play a story along as the 4 pages go along. But Aphrodite and Booty Chiba, the Chibis, this is the first cover I've ever done for them. When they had in this particular issue, they have a quest to do. They have to get a Kraken's egg. At this moment, Aphrodite, the one that you see way at the bottom, that's Aphrodite right here. The one on the right, that's Puck. The one on the left, that looks like she's drowned out, that's Morgan. So they go on a quest. They become a crew. I can't give y'all a brief synopsis. Like I said, there's a lot to tell right now. Like I said, so hold on tight. I got a lot to talk about right now, so hold on to it. But Aphrodite and Buddha basically is Aphrodite, the Greek goddess. In this version of my story, she's an adventurer. But in this particular case, the gods have a certain challenge that they do once a few centuries. And the gods can either participate or have champions in their place. In this case, Aphrodite, she's not a combative character, but she wants to prove her people wrong. She wants to prove the gods wrong. She wants to prove the people who are telling her that you can't do it. You're more of a pretty girl. You know what I'm saying? You're a girl that just, you're the goddess of love. Like you're not a fighter. But I tell you guys, I gave her a sawed-off shotgun, guys. And when she pulled that Wendy out, y'all gonna be like, who this? And I'm like, this is Aphrodite. But not only that, who is Buddha? Buddha is a 7 deadly sins. She's a demon. In this particular case, she happened to summon Buddha. So I can't tell you the details, but a certain god helps her summon a demon, and the strongest of all demons, a 7 deadly sins. So she gets Buddha, a 7 deadly sins of lust. So both of them are kind of the same resemblance of what they are about. So Aphrodite is the goddess of love and desire. Buddha is the demon of lust and desire. So them two kind of have a falling out. So Aphrodite is a shy, timid character, where Buddha is a more outgoing and more direct character. So both of their characters kind of come hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? So Puck and Morgan is just the characters that comes in for the group. So this is kind of like a fantasy mixed with mythology in a way. I guess we'll put mythology and fantasy together. But yeah, that's the story right there. So they just go on different quests and everything like that. So in this first issue, they got to get a Kraken's egg. And so they win medallions. It's like these certain medallions. They're very rare and very valuable. And they have to collect them, almost like gym badges in Pokemon. They're very valuable. And the more you have, the more access of wealth and rewards you get. Equipment, gear, uh, living situations, access to more dangerous or more profitable quests. So the more coins you get, or the more medallions you get, the more better you're easy to finish the challenge, basically. But the thing is about this challenge is life or death. So people either became champions or some of them perish. Some don't make it. So this is the first challenge you have to do is the Kraken. The second challenge, you have to go to a ghost town. But the kicker is Puck. She's the brawler in the group. She's the brawler. She don't like ghosts. She don't like spirits and shit. Hence the face she's making right here in the center. She like that shit. So even Aphrodite, she's like I said, Aphrodite is a timid character too. She don't really like ghosts and spirits like that. She gets freaked out as well. So it kind of gives a relationship between those two characters as well. Morgan's a character that's kind of like I said, you get more into her character later. But this next one, Buddha makes an appearance in the group. So now Buddha starts to become kind of more active with the group and everything like that within the series. So now, granted, Buddha is with them in these other two issues, but she's kind of like the non-helper. She's just there to just make fun of them, be like, you know what I'm saying, like yeah, I can't do this type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like she's just like a party pooper in a way, but in a fun way. But she does get involved in this issue. And Quincy, which is a new character that you see him sucked up in the little monster, like about getting sucked up. He's the new addition. So he's kind of a player. He's kind of a player in the group. You know what I'm saying? But he is the only male in the female group. Kind of like a hint to my favorite anime, Konosuba, where Kazuma is the only guy in the group. You know what I'm saying? But he's more of the ladies' man, you know what I'm saying? And he always be trying to get with Aphrodite. Buddha is she's a very possessive character. You know what I'm saying? So she don't want nobody to have no love interest or be on Aphrodite. So she does any type of way to get Quincy just to be separated. But they are a team though. But if, say for instance, if he was hanging from a cliff and Buddha had to pick him up or have to get him, she ain't gonna do it. She gonna be petty. She gonna watch him. She gonna watch him fall. That's Buddha. That's their relationship. But like I said, those are the three issues that I have ready and raring to go for Patreon. So get ready for this story. But it's nothing happening right now for it. But be ready for that one. But like I said, that's another title I'm working on. Space travel. I told y'all about that one. Like I said, I didn't know I was a vampire until I died. This is one of the other characters right here. Akaisha. I always butcher the name sometimes, but I know they have certain different pronunciations of it, but the real pronunciation of it is what is it? Akasha. There it is. Akasha, I believe that's the right pronunciation, but I know people pronounce it different other ways, but Akasha is the right pronunciation. So, of course, she's the first, of course, if y'all heard about the lore, she's the first vampire to ever live or whatever like that. So she is actually one of the characters, the main characters of I Didn't Know I Was a Vampire Until I Died. To be honest, actually, while I get finished with Hoshina, that's who I was supposed to do. I was going to do the main character Talia because I was going to do this as well. Um, But yeah, she's like this 10-foot sexy. Ugh, I love muscle mommies. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a sucker for them. Okay, I love strong women. All right, but like I said, she learned. She knows how to enhance her body to make it kind of look like it looks deformed, but it actually strengthens her a little bit. So that's why her hands and her arms and stuff like that. Like she has that slim body on the waist, but everything else look kind of like her limbs look bigger. Is because she can enhance her body that way. But her abilities are different. Now each of my characters, the pure vampires have unique abilities in my comic book here. Now there are two type of vampires. There's pure bloods, and I don't have a name for them yet, but they're kind of like a they're like if when you get bit, you get turned. You don't become pure blood. You turn into like a like instead of having those pure like like how regular vampires have like the two sharp teeth in the front, they get jagged teeth. Like they get real jagged teeth. So when they bite and tear their victims, they gnaw at them. It's like a gnaw. It's not your typical 2 point. I bit you in the neck. Like, nah, they gnaw at you. You know what I'm saying? Like vampire, like zombies. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really. It's rare that and then the way they breed is kind of like a similarity to kind of like if you watch Blade 2, it's kind of like in that type of way. It's like a virus. It just spreads. You know what I'm saying? So um I can't wait for y'all to read the story because, like I said, I love vampires. So like, I can't wait for y'all to read the story, man. I can't wait. But I'm not working on it right now, though. But I am still doing concept art for it, though. What else? What else do I got to show y'all? Hell's Angels. Yes, Hell's Angels. I think I got them somewhere. Hold on. It's over here. Oh, my bad. Oh yeah, Hell's Angels. This is the other story I'm working on. Sorry, it's a JPEG, so it's kind of pixelated. But this is the front cover for it. This is the official cover for Hell's Angels. So you get to read some of the pages on there. I will want to do a Kickstarter for this as well. This is a legit spin-off story. I do want to do a Kickstarter for. So the comic books that I showed y'all for now, only Aphrodite and Buddha is not going to be an actual official comic book. They're the only ones that are not going to have a Kickstarter. It's all going to be Patreon for Aphrodite and Buddha. But Hell's Angels, I'm gonna make an official comic book for that, and I want to do it in the future. I want to do a Kickstarter for them. This talks about the celestial and demonic area of Earth Ton of Heroes. This is kind of a prologue, so you're gonna be starting with the character Maze at the bottom. And like I said, one of my mutuals that supports me for years now, me and her collab together, and she now has official two characters in the story as well. Ravi on the right hand bottom, and then Ruin, the little smaller character in that little section right there. Those are two characters that me and her collabed in, and now she has that's artist to fan right there. I always love if you invest in my work, you might get yourself or a character in my comic book. I'm all for that shit. I'm all for it. And then of course Buddha. That's what Buddha actually looks like. Besides her chibi version, this is what Buddha actually looks like. Now there's two different versions of Buddha. Don't mistake it. There's two versions of Buddha. There's the Earth Ton of Heroes version, and there's the Aphrodite and Buddha version. Both of them are similar, but this Buddha is a little bit more different in a certain way. I can't say because it'll kind of like defeat the plot. You know what I'm saying? It'll spoil that for you, but they're kind of they have the same design, but they're completely different two characters. But what else? I think I got one more thing to show y'all, and that'll be it. After that, um, yeah, I think that's about it. Oh yeah, Hellboy. This is the fanfic I want to work on. Morning, Graham. Here's a question for you. Any advice on writing your own comic? I got you. I got you. And yeah, Hell's Angels on Patreon. I want to do a fanfic of this. Don't worry, guys. I made sure I did the research on how Mike Mignola does when it comes to fanfics. He does approve, but you cannot use the story. You can't use Hellboy's story. So you can put the character in your own story for a fanfic, but you can't use Hellboy's story to fit your narrative or your stuff. So you got to do them completely separated, which I did, which is great. Yeah. So I did write a first issue and a script. So it's just whenever I finish with space travel, we'll get started with that. Um, but I redesigned Hellboy in my own style. So I've always wanted to do that. So he has his own style. So this is what Hellboy is going to look in my fanfic. Now the fanfic isn't a continuation. I'm only doing like one issue and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So that's about it. So it's not gonna be anything after that. But I just wanted to just spread my love about Hellboy. You know, I love Hellboy. He's a really cool character. I fell in love with him ever since I saw, the Del Toro, Ron Perlman and stuff like that, man. Anything they dropped after that, when it came to Hellboy, man, I watched the animated series. I even have the whole omnibus of Hellboy, of the whole Hellboys. I got all 4 volumes, guys. Played no games. I told you I was gonna get this shit. But yeah, we're gonna do a fanfic of that as well. And lastly, I'm gonna get to Grim's question, but I'm gonna go ahead. Let me put up the other one. I'm gonna show y'all the up with space travel as well. Before I get to that, so Grim, you said any advice on writing your own story? Ah, it's the beauty of it. I told people recently, those who stayed in here, I told them I drew my characters first. I drew my characters first. Usually, I'm a moviegoer. I grew up watching movies since I was like 5 years old. You feel me? I grew up watching movies. I'm talking VHS tapes in the back of the trunk from the bootleg man. You feel me? Not DVDs, tapes, VHS. So, mind you, the way I make up my stories might be different from yours, but when I have an image in my head, I play it like a movie, right? I play it like a movie. If it makes me sad, if it makes me suspenseful, makes me feel like it's mysterious, makes me feel like it can give me some happiness or excitement. I jot it down. I write a brief story of it. I don't care how long it'll be. I don't care if it's 5 pages, 10 pages, 20 pages, 50 pages. I jot it down, and then I make it into a script. So now I got kind of sort of a story based, and then I got a story based kind of writing, and then I have a script. So that's how I write my own comics. You could do it that way, or you could just do a script. People just do a script and call it a day. But I like to make sure, but because I'm working on 6 titles and I'm doing the writing and art by myself, I have to do shortcuts. And that is just doing a brief, like I said, I don't care if I'm doing 5 pages, 20 pages, 30, 50, whatever. I write it, I read it myself because, like I said, I'm going by my imagination. I'm making it like it's a movie. So when I write it, I'll be like, does this make sense? I'll be like, all right, it does. Sometimes you got to go back and redo it, but that's how I write my stories, though. That's how I write my own comic books. Whatever I visualize, I put it down as soon as possible. It could be you can make it as your notes. That's what I do. It's like my guidebook. It's my notes. Then once I start doing the script, I take what I just wrote and I just put it in, and I just like I said, I just put it in a script form. And then after that script form, I put it as a panel. I put it in panels, rough sketch or whatever like that, and then boom, comic book's made just like that. Um, but I would say if you do a story base first before doing the script like I do it, I let somebody else read it first for a second, and I'll be like, "Can you read this real quick? See how it is." Somebody read it. I don't let everybody read it. I just let certain people who likes to read let them read it. Or if anybody that likes the genre or whatever like that. But I try to get people who likes a certain genre, and if I think they like that genre, I let them read it for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Um, I just don't get no average person just to read it, some just average Joe, you know what I'm saying? Because some people, people have different opinions on certain books and certain fields. So I just give it to people who just likes to read and wants to see a good story, good good character development. You know what I'm saying? That is my main focus with my comic books. Character development, lore, and story. But I love good character development. I love that shit. Because even if you don't have a story, as long as your character has development, the story can keep playing. The story can keep going. So you just feel like, okay, this is where my character's gonna cap off at. The story will stop. But if you feel like your story can keep going, if your character can keep going, oh yeah, you got more to tell. All you gotta do is just fit in the plot to make it make sense. To make the first issue make the first issue, make sure the second issue falls with the first issue, and then so on and so forth. So definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna have solid advice. I ain't gonna steer you wrong now. I ain't gonna steer you wrong. Now my methods are different from any other artist. or any other writer, but I won't lead you wrong of how to start your comic book and how to get it and how to get it to where you want to get it to. But like I said, I like doing character development and lore. That's my main focus when it comes to my comic books. Um, but yeah, like I said, any questions y'all have, man, let me know. You said never let. Boy, stop. Read, no bad. I actually read it to y'all one time. Remember, I read y'all Earth Eternal Heroes. I read y'all the first issue actually. Uh huh. I just didn't read y'all the second one because it was juicy. Second issue's juicy. Now the first issue, guys, for Gaia, when y'all if y'all ever join the Patreon, it's slow. It's a slow start. I want y'all to enjoy the art, enjoy the dialogue, because like I said, I'm not a professional writer. Um, so me trying to write dialogue is kind of difficult, but I try my best. So um I started slow. I know some people they'll start off, with action or something like that, whatever. Hit it big, hit it home. But I like to start off small, man. Get to know the characters, get to absorb the art, the angles I'm doing, kind of a study. You know what I'm saying? Of who I am as an artist and how I do my book. Um, but the second issue, guys, I almost cried. I almost cried writing that shit. I kid you not. I almost cried. The way I hit that, I was like, I had it at the back, like, you know how you always get that tingle in the back of your neck or in the back of your spine, and you just be like, I'm about to cry, man, oh no. But I'm like, nah, I'm a chief. Cry. But nah, I almost cried. I was listening to Guardian of the Galaxy. I don't know if y'all watched Guardian of the Galaxy. Y'all remember that scene when they try to get the Power Stone from Ronan? And then when Gamora was like, Peter, and they was playing that song in it, and they saw his mom. Peter saw his mom while he was holding the Power Stone, and they played that song in the back. They played that song right there in that moment. I listened to that as I wrote it. That shit almost had me cry. I was like, oh my god, what am I doing? So when I feel that, I know my readers are gonna feel that. So that's how I know I am doing justice with my books. Amy the Apex, the story's not going to be starting yet anytime soon. I do have it shelved, unfortunately. But I've read that. I wrote it, and I've read that story at least like 3 times. I love it. I love how I wrote that. It was so wholesome, family, the lore behind it, like the dream. It's basically when it comes to aiming the apex, it's a story about friendship, music, the travel, battle of the bands kind of situation. I wanted to do like battle like music, but with warriors. If y'all ever remember, I don't know if y'all know the Warriors, the movie back in the day. I wanted to do that, but with music. You feel me? And smash some shits two together. A little bit of comedy, a little bit of some drama, a little bit of something like that. A little bit of some world building. Of course, like I said, I love lore. So world building is part of lore. So there's a lot that goes with it. So what Amy goes through in her story, her family is very not much of the follow your dreams no matter what. More of the it, she's more of her family. Her parents are more like you got to put your head in the books. Got to be a doctor, military or something, teacher, something. You know what I'm saying? So you say, oh yeah, I got all the omnibus. Invincible, I got all 3 volumes and as well as the omnibus for the Universal. I got all them 4 books. I fucking love Invincible. I'm waiting for them to drop Battle Beast. I know Battle Beast is still new, but I can't wait for them. I know they're gonna drop an omnibus for that, and I can't wait to get that. But I love Invincible. I got the whole entire book set. Um, but yeah, Amy is about living your dream and achieving your dream no matter what people say. So I think it fits really well for people like me because artists gets the backhand sometimes. Shoot, even in our own category, like if we go to a Comic Con, which pissed me off because someone said to me recently last year, I believe I don't know which Comic Con did it, but they put artists in another building. And I'm like, y'all don't put no respect on artists' name. Artists and voice actors should be the main event to any Comic Con. Because without artists, none of that shit would exist. Without voice actors, you wouldn't have animation. Well, of course, you can still draw it, but you wouldn't, if you don't have no voice actors, you wouldn't have nothing else after that. But you get what I'm saying? Artists and voice actors should be the main pinnacle or the main pillar to Comic Cons. But artists be the backhand of everything. They'll take people who's selling pops and figurines and shit before artists. And it's like, what? Didn't we start this shit? We wouldn't even have a Comic Con without artists. We made this, bruh. What you talking about? So that really was really disrespectful. I can't remember what Comic Con did that. I felt like that shit was hella disrespectful. Because if I ever was able to help build a Comic Con with people, artists will be the first thing that you always gonna see. Vendors, any other vendors, yeah, they'll be there. Artists will be the spotlight. Voice actors will be the spotlight. Because without those two, you would have no Comic Con. Period. And that shit would never exist. Figurines would never be existed. Like statues, figurines, toys, all that other stuff, pop, stuff like that, they would never even exist if artists didn't even make these characters in the first place. So I don't like how they disrespect artists. You feel me? So that's why when people be like, "Oh man, JR, you should go to," like for us, it's I believe like I think it's Galaxy Con over here in North Carolina. You got Raleigh, you got Charlotte, and everything like that. And I be telling people I would never buy a booth there. I would never. I would never buy a booth there. As much as my friends and mutuals and everything like that, but they'd be like, "Yo, you would do good over there in that company." I bet I will, but I would never buy a booth. Why is that? I don't like how they treat artists because they feel like artists is backburners. Some don't, and that'll be the people I'll buy a booth for. I'll spend my bread on, but I'll be like, I will try. I would do my hardest to be a guest. I will work my ass off to do what I do best, and then they'll be like, "Yo, JR, you know what I'm saying? We've been hearing about your work, you know what I'm saying? We want you to be a guest." And I'm like, "Oh shit, you won't me? We don't You gotta make it to where like you don't want them. We need you. Because that's the truth. What we create is what they want. Just because we ain't big or we're not a vet in the game, or we're not a legend, but when our stuff starts doing numbers, start getting popular, start being on websites, people talk about it. Hey, what's up, Bree? That's when those industries gonna be like, hold up, let me send them an email because they cooking right here. And they're gonna be like, you want to do some artwork for us? I'm like, shit. See that you asking, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? So now it's not a fantasy because we've seen it multiple times. We've seen people where industries will try to butter you up because they see how popular you get. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just the way the world works, man. They want what you want. They want what you got. And because you ain't folding to, oh, why don't you buy a booth? I'm not about to put my money where y'all at. Y'all don't respect artists like that. Because if something happened, like that one comic, like I said, I can't remember the name of that Comic Con that did that, that put artists in a whole entire other room, or not a room, a whole building, separated from the voice actors and stuff like that. So you telling me if people want their stuff signed, they had to go to a whole other building and go all the way back to the main building just to get it signed by a voice actor? That's crazy. Artists and voice actors should have been under the same roof. And bless my last Comic Con and my local Comic, I was sitting with the voice actors at the time. So the person who I forgot his name, the guy that voiced Sonic and Shadow and everything, like that, I was literally sitting right across from him with the voice actors. I was sitting right across from them. The host of the Comic Con, I did a GI Joe art piece for them because they were doing a GI Joe event, and I did an art piece for them. I guess it was sold out because I was selling. I had like stacks of them on my table. But the host came by. He said, "Did you got any of them?" I said, "Nah, you go ahead and take them, bro." He was like, "Cause yeah, they're all gone." I said, "Damn." But see, the sad thing is, the local Comic Con I was at, they don't do too much promotion, so not a lot of people saw my stuff. So they kind of suck at promoting stuff. So, but hey, as when I started, I made two promises to myself: no AI will ever touch my work, and I will never sell the rights to my work to nobody. And you should not. If you do great work, do like the guy that I can't remember his name, but he's the one that created Static Shock. You see how we barely see Static Shock, but you see how the industry, as much as we love a live adaptation of Static Shock, man, we love to see Static Shock bring up a new show. But you know why they don't want to? You want to know why? I think I don't even think it's even an opinion. I think it's a straight up fact to why they don't want to put Static Shock because one, they gotta pay somebody else, and I'm not gonna do no race card or nothing like that. But we're gonna just call it Kettle Black because the brother's black. They ain't trying to give no big money to a brother. Ain't gonna cat to you. But guarantee it, if they sold Static Shock to DC, I bet you they'll throw everything in their power to do a movie, a TV series, revamp a TV series for them, sell pops, sell everything in their mama with Static Shock space on the front. I guarantee it. But because they do not own Static Shock and they have to pay somebody else to use them, you don't see much of them. And that's the sad thing about the industry as well. That's why I'd rather build my own industry. And it will be hard. It'll be hard as hell. I promise you guys, it's gonna be hard. But if you discipline yourself, you have the right people that helps you, motivates you, inspires you, gives you great advice, no matter what, your industry will flourish. Like I say, your industry will flourish, guys. I promise you. I believe, like I said, my boy Everett, Klein, King Lion, despite his other content, but his comic book and stuff like that, this dude's doing this when he goes to sleep. Well, he don't ever sleep though, but bro, when he wakes up, he's doing this 24/7. Imagine just wake. That's what I said. I don't understand that, man. I would love to just wake up, stretch, wash my ass, and just be like, sit in this chair, and just be like, on to the next project, and do that forever. 9 to 5, 24/7. I want to get to that point. But that's why I said at the beginning of starting the live, I need to stop being passive with my art. I gotta be strong. If I tell people to join my Patreon, not force them, like, nah, you need to join this shit. Nah, I cook. I eat at this shit. I'm good at it. So if you want to see more exclusive stuff, go on my Patreon. If not, shit, you ain't gonna see nothing. You ain't gonna see much because I'm not about to post a lot on TikTok. You already see me not posting a lot already now on TikTok. Instagram is mostly the frequent. I'm more on Instagram now. So if you do follow me on Instagram, appreciate that. But that's where I mostly have my my activeness on. But yeah, Instagram, Patreon, YouTube. Catch me on any of those three. I'm there. I am there. But yeah, man, like I said, I wish the best for any one of y'all that's trying to make it just as much as I am. But I'm glad I looked at that video that Marlon Wayne just dropped hours ago, man. Be humble as a person, but be a shark in business. Because this is your livelihood that you're trying to make. This is a life that you're trying to make. You're not trying to do no 9 to 5. I don't know what y'all do for a 9 to 5, but me, I'm tired of that shit. And now my body can't even handle what I used to do. I used to do hands-on work. I'm a blue collar worker, thin and through, thick and through, or however you call the phrase, whatever. I don't sit behind a desk. This is the only thing I would say I do sitting behind a desk. Everything like that, I put my hands on, working since I was 18, even younger than that. You know what I'm saying? So I've been in warehouse distribution, driver, trucks, not cars, trucks, heavy lifting, factory jobs, like production jobs. I've been through it all. My back can't handle that shit no more. So when I tell people, when you help me out really by supporting the Patreon and shit, you is helping me out. And I promise you, when you help me out, these projects, you get done quicker, faster. Promise you, I'm gonna let y'all know. If I wake up doing this shit, when I come on live one day and I be like, guys, we made it. We doing this 24/7. I did the financial work. The money we make, the money we come in, it sustains. It's something where I can live off of. Once I give y'all that news, y'all gonna see these motherfucking books get done every day. Well, not every day, these books takes long, but you understand what I mean. Like I will constantly be behind this screen every time. I probably wouldn't even take no vacay days. Not gonna be like, damn, you don't ever take no vacation. I'm like, shit, nope. Nope. I promise you. Y'all see me sit on live, drawing 2 hours, 3 hours. Shit, sometimes y'all see me do 8 hours. There was one time we did 12 hours. Shit. Dropped 3 pieces, 5 pieces. Some people left, came back, and they're like, damn, you got done with the piece already? Yeah. Let me see it. Damn. That shit fire. I'm like, appreciate that. Appreciate that. On to the next one. You feel me? Now I did slow down now though. I did slow down a little bit though, but fan art, some of y'all already knew I used to pump that shit every day. Pump every piece. In one live, I did like 3 pieces a day. Not sketches, full illustrations. We weren't doing doodles. That's why my mutuals be poking fun at me, talking about I don't doodle enough. They be like, I'm like, what I do ain't doodling? They like, fuck no, you ain't doodling. That's full illustration. And two of them in here can vouch for y'all, can vouch for me, saying that, like, oh yeah, he don't do doodles. Yeah, I definitely will be. I'll be interested. Me and King Lion, actually, what me and him is actually gonna do a collab, but I kind of want my book out first before I do it though. But if he wants to start it, I'm all there for it. But yeah, man, me and King Lion, he confirmed it multiple times, and he wanted y'all seen it multiple times when he joined on the live. He said, "Man, stop playing with me, bruh. We gonna do a collaboration. I'll make sure we gonna eat, guys." And he's a good, like I said, man. He is one of the biggest people that I could say, man, that I could honestly, like I said, once we get to know each other more, like I said, because he's in a different state and stuff like that. But I don't want to, like I said, busy guy, anything. I ain't trying to talk his head off or anything like that. But at this point, man, if I want to talk to him, bro, like, do calls or he'll text. Vice versa. If he needs to talk to me or text, I have no problem. Yo, King call. Hey, I'm there. Said trying to prove your point by showing us non-doodles. Nah, man, I got some doodles in. Oh, my bad. I was supposed to talk about this too. But the other before we go to the next convo, y'all know I like to switch and go to different conversations. But yeah, this is my other fanfic though that I wanted to do as well. I do love Predator. I do love the Yautja. I do like the Predator franchise. Sally, this is the only franchise I do not have any omnibus or issues in. I do want them, but there's not a store that sells it. And if they do, it's like Barnes and Nobles. They said they sold it, but they don't sell them by the volume, sadly. And then if I try to get the Predator books, they're like somebody is eBaying them or they're auctioning or something like that. So it's hard to get the Predator book, sadly. So and then if you do start with the newer Predator books, like I could just read it in Marvel Unlimited. Marvel Unlimited got the newer issues of Predator right now, so because they own the rights to the comic, so um and Alien too. So it's like I might as well just have Marvel's Unlimited. But like I said, I got all the omnibus for Hellboy, and I heard Hellboy's coming out with another series. Thank gosh, man! I was wondering when that joint was gonna hit though. But yeah, another, like I said, I got Invincible. And then, like I said, I collect more indie comics though. They're the only two industry comic books that I own. Of course, Hellboy is Dark Horse and Invincible is Image. Those are the two industry comic books that I own. Um, Predator would be the next if they do an omnibus series. He said, "I love the AVP series. I do too, but I know sometimes they're not. Well, I know they do have an actual AVP, but I do love their solo series. I want to get their solos. Now, Alien, I do love the Alien franchise, but I'm not a big guy on it like that to like collect the books. I like the Yautjas, man. I just it's just something with them. I just love the Predator franchise. Um, but I did create my own female Yautja right here. I don't have a name for her yet, but I do want to do a. This will be the first fanfic that I will do on Patreon. So if you do enjoy the Predator franchise and you want to see what my character May Bird is about, you'll get to see it on my Patreon. I will be doing it actually sooner rather than later, actually this year. So just be on the lookout for that. Um, and like I said, in this issue here, I always tell people a cover art will always can always explain what the story is about a little bit. So usually when I show y'all the cover, I kind of tell y'all a brief kind of description or a synopsis of what happens. So without telling y'all the plot at least. So in this first issue, because at least with this one, I want to do two. I want to do two fanfic stories of at least with this one. With the Hellboy one, I'm just gonna do one. Unless people start being like, "Oh, I want more," then I'll try to wait. I'll try to put more in there. But I know for this, I want to do two. For this one, Maybird gets a distress signal, right? Um, I kind of like lean Weyland Yutani to be part of the universe of space travel, so they kind of like meld in between each other. So Maybird kind of has some kind of information about Weyland Yutani, but not all the way. She just knows about the company, right? They kind of did some shady stuff with uh, alien life forms or whatever like that, right? So she gets a distress beacon, goes on this planet, but on this planet she happens to meet a Yautja, and it was a female Yautja, one of the female Yautjas. If anybody don't know about the Predators, female Yautjas, which I love. I love, like I said, I love strong female characters, guys. I love that shit. If you got any strong female characters, yo, I'm either gonna draw them motherfuckers, or we're gonna have to do some collaboration or something, a cover piece or something. I love strong female characters. You feel me? But anyway, the Yautjas, you got the male Yautjas, but now that after Badlands, the movie that did Badlands, now they're not start to you know introduce the females. The females are the strongest out of the species. So she actually encounters one. But with this particular Yautja, she does solos because most of female Yautjas, they are by themselves. They don't need a clan. They get highly respected. If you were born a female Yautja, you get already respect. You feel me? Like you don't need to justify yourself. So, but this particular Yautja I created, she hunts xenomorphs. So in this one, she's been trying to find the nest of them. So in this particular, with May Bird and Ava is another character. Ava is a advanced AI system that you'll get to know in space travel because you'll get to know that in the first issue. Um, they get integrated, so they become one. So one can't live without the other. I can't spoil that to you. I can't spoil that because you're gonna know all that in the first issue. Once the first issue is done, you're gonna know all about what's happening in that. But it's not a spoil to when they combine minds. So she gets extra sensory abilities. So her eyesight. So what Ava gives her is an enhanced hearing, sight, taste, smell. She is injected with nanites, so she gets enhanced strength, enhanced agility, speed a little bit durability. So she can take a little bit more. She can take more impact a little bit than a natural human can. Um, so Maybird kind of like she's not superhuman, but she's just an enhanced human with tech tech advancements or whatever like that, right? So, mind you, she kind of can be on par with the female Yautja. So she encounters a female Yautja. They do tussle and fight a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna have a fight now. I'm gonna have a fight. But May Bird's a character of curiosity, and she does kind of is a friendly approach. She does try to be diplomatic, friendly, and stuff like that. But don't worry about it. Like May does know how to fight though. May Bird knows how to fight now. She knows how to throw the ones though. But they do fight, whatever like that, and then they get, of course, in the story, blah blah blah, something intervenes, and then they come allies or whatever like that, right? So then we go to our second issue, our second fanfic issue. They get caught in a hive, right? Now they got to fight their way through a horde of xenomorphs in this one. So I don't have any much to tell about this second one because, like I said, I just did the cover. I just know I know what the main villain is going to be in this and stuff like that. So you said I have named Soulmate, if I pronounce it correctly. I know I butcher names, guys, so don't worry. It's no disrespect. I do butcher names, guys. I gotta hear it. I'm the type of guy that gotta hear it. But yeah, like I said, I do like some strong female characters, man. I do love some strength. I love some muscle mommies for sure. Mm. Anyway, but yeah, that's all I got to tell y'all about what's going to be coming into the Patreon. So Chibi's Aphrodite and Buddha, look out for that. Space travel, the pages. You know what I'm saying? I'm not writing no dialogue or anything. I'm just gonna show y'all the only thing that you're gonna get about the comics are going to be physically made. What you're gonna see in the Patreon, you get an early access to look at the pages. You get the rough sketch, you get the line work, and you get the coloring. So you get all three of those early to look at. The dialogue doesn't come in until we start doing a Kickstarter. So everybody's gonna, y'all know how Kickstarter start. Y'all fund it, blah blah blah. We get some backers, boom, comic book made, end of story. But because I'm the writer and artist, it'll be more quicker for me to get it done. So at least that's good. So because I'm writing in that, we'll be able to get the funding up faster. Um, but I do want to kind of like give y'all some posters and bookmarks. I like to do marketing. I am a marketing head. I don't know where I came up with it, like to be interested in marketing. I love marketing. Like besides books, man, I want to sell posters, stickers, bookmarks, bookmarkers. It was something else I wanted to do too. I'm not really ready. I'm not sure about clothing line yet. I think do that maybe later in the future, man. If we get a little bit more bigger and out there, whatever like that, or collaboration with a known industry that does clothing lines or something like that. I got some good clothing ideas, but that's not my main concern. Mostly just the simple stuff that y'all can use with the book. I know I got What If We Collab. I want to do blank covers as well. So with Space Travel is gonna have a blank cover. But the special thing about What If We Collab, um, you can get it physically or you can get it digitally. So the thing about digitally and physical, um, we get it printed out and you get it in the book. So whatever you draw, if you wanted to draw Maybird, for instance, and I had a what if cover, and you submit it into my email, you submit it in Pickle Comics email, it will be the winner will be about at least I'll do three winners. So you get first place, second place, third place, blah 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 blah. So the first winner gets like some juicy rewards. Second person gets the secondary reward, and the third person gets the one award or whatever like that, right? But they get their book, they get their art inside the book. So at the very end, you get to see their whoever the three winners. So I wanted to do that. I think it was really cool. I think a lot of people appreciate it to see their own artwork in my books. So I wanted to do that. So my midpoint is definitely getting animated series for sure. I do want to get an animated series. If I get it, I know a lot of people wants to try to be like, oh, I want to do video games or movie or TV series. Me, if we like say for instance, my stories got out that big, I would love to do a video game, particularly turn-based game, a turn-based game, fighting game, and ooh, I think that's it. I would do a fighting game and a turn-based game. I love turn-based games, guys. So I would definitely help develop a turn-based game for my comic books. Um, uh, I've always thought of movies. I never thought of television shows. I've always thought of movies because, like I said, I'm just a big movie lover. So I never thought of like, what if my comic books ever became a series? Um, it's always possible. You said I was thinking of a graphic novel myself. I'll say go for it because what's stopping you to not do it? That's just getting your stuff out even more. That's what I told people. People will be like, I want to make a manga. I'll be like, all right, cool. You want to make a manga? So how you go about it? They'd be like, just drop volumes, you know what I'm saying? Like that. I said, okay, cool, cool, cool. You can do volumes. So what else you doing? They'd be like, oh, that's just it. So you just making the book, that's it. You know? no stickers, no posters, no nothing like that. Not trying to think of anything bigger than that. Because at the end of the day, you got to do everything you can to fund your books. So I always tell people, at the end of the day, money is what's going to fund anything that you're going to be doing. Because, like I said, it's not a natural 9 to 5. It's not someone else's, paying you to do what you're doing. You got to pay. You're paying yourself because you're doing the work, and people paying you to buy your work. So it's like, how can you sustain that financial growth? So sorry, not a graphic, the game version visual novel. Oh, okay, okay. Like how they did the God of War. They did a side scroll for it. It's like a story based kind of game. Oh no, no, you said no. My bad, my bad. You said a graph. I don't really play too many version visual novel kind of games, so it's kind of rare for me. But are you kind of like Dispatch? Dispatch, I would say, is kind of like it's not a game. It's a game, but it's more like you're watching it as you interact with it. Get to choose what Robert say. Your decisions matters to the story. Like something like that. Or like Hades. I've heard it. Okay, sweet. I hope you get successful with that then, because I love Dispatch. This Dispatch had me on that. It had a grip on me, but Dispatch had a grip on me. Shoot. Um, but yeah, those are my plans. If my combos get that big, definitely a bit two bit different, fighting game and a turn based game. And I would probably do a TV series. I know I probably would do a TV series, but I wouldn't work on the animation. I wouldn't. I'll just keep working on my books because I have more stories to tell. So I'll just work on that and then just be that guy that's just watching them or whatever like that. If they need my help or something and anything like that, I'm still there to do parts. A portion of the work. Just being there. Just being there helping out with illustrations and stuff like that. Um, Guiding the team and how to draw the characters or like getting the emotion of the characters and telling them this is what it is or whatever like that or of course help writing the script to the TV show and stuff like that. I wouldn't mind doing that if my books got up to that level. um if it just sticks to books, I'm cool with that too. You know what I'm saying? I'm good with that. I'm down for that. um but I'm just like Tom Holland. All right, I'm just gonna be like, hey, I always wanted to do this, that, and the other. When industries keep catch wind of you wanted to do this or that, oh yeah. And if your books get successful and they get popular and they gain money, oh yeah, them industries will eat it up and be like, yo, Sarge, you wanted to make a video game, so you want to be part of my crew? You know what I'm saying? They're always gonna be like, I promise you, industries would love to eat up something that's popular and everybody loves it. Promise you. But I'm not gonna lie, if I did a story based game, I want Insomniac to do it. Nobody else. Insomniac. They'll be the only people that will do that game. Or not even only Insomniac, people that does like people that was behind Ninja Storm, the Ninja Storm games. I would definitely bounce with that too. I love the story based games, the quick the QTEs. I love QTEs sometimes. For those who don't know, quick time event, like just mash the button while in action, like Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, stuff like that. I like those type of games. I'm not afraid to be like, oh, well, someone was like, oh, this is like Naruto, duh, because I love Naruto. I love Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games, bro. Like, I love that story. The quick time event shit and all that. I love that. So, but yeah, but I've thought of different versions of a fighting game though. For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. But yeah, like I said, guys, I hope that y'all, whatever y'all aiming for, I hope y'all achieve it. But like I said, you can't achieve it without that discipline, consistency. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think those are the two things. Oh, of course, you got inspiration and motivation, but I always say don't let that be your top thing to depend on like I said, your discipline and consistency should be the thing. Say the consistency, of course, is you're pumping this stuff out left and right. The discipline. What is the difference for those who don't know? When it comes to artists, what is the difference when someone says you got to have discipline and you got to have consistency? Of course, it's the definition of itself, but let's just say in the artist perspective, the consistency is pumping out the stuff, doing art piece after art piece. The discipline is where people lax at sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes we be like, I don't feel like doing this shit right now. But the discipline to where it's like you're doing more of, I gotta do it. Nobody else can do it but me. So let me get my butt in the chair and start drawing. That's where your discipline kicks in. If you don't have discipline, you're gonna be like, I'm not feeling it. I'll get back to it. It's been 5 days. When you gonna get back to it? You know what I'm saying? So me, I have the consistency, but I need to work on my discipline a little bit. Because I'm a procrastinator. I wish I didn't have that trait, but it is what it is. I try hard to try to pump through it. But sometimes one day I'll be like, I want to work on my comic book. Yeah, I have the consistency to pump out 3, maybe 4 pages. But after the next day, I'll be like, I gotta work on my comic book. Gotta finish the rest. But then I'll be like, nah, I'll get on the game. Or nah, I'll work on some fan art. Or nah, I want to sleep. That's where the discipline kicks in. You gotta have that discipline with your art. Sometimes you gotta be like, think about it before you start lacking. You be like, if no one does this, no one else can do this but me. Keep them words in your mind. Nobody else is gonna do this but me. Nobody can't do this but me. Because it's my story, it's my characters. I gotta do it. So sometimes you gotta keep that in your mind. Maybe put a sticky note on it, a sticky note somewhere or something in front of you and just be like, yo, grind that shit because no one else can't do it but you. You feel me? So discipline is one of the things that's the hardest things to master. But I'm pretty sure y'all got that. But I know some people are, discipline and consistency goes hand in hand. So it's best to master both of those for sure. Master both of those. But like I said, if y'all have any questions, let me know. I think I did enough talking right now. But I appreciate y'all for listening in. If y'all can't stay for too long, though, I do appreciate it. If y'all are gonna stay in, we're gonna draw something else. I think I had Hoshina sitting too long, so I think I might work on Talia right now. I may work on this later. So I draw every day, anytime I get a chance to. My tablet is is on me. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to hear. It's like I said, ain't nobody gonna do what you do but you. That's all I gotta keep. You always gotta just keep that in your mind. All right, let's go ahead and get Talia underway. All right. Um, mm, Trying to see, do I have a reference photo for her? I don't think I do. Dang it. It's on my other flash drive, and like I said, that one is no good. Good. Trying to see if it's in one of these. Oh yeah, like I said, I've been getting fan art too. Now these aren't a lot, but yeah, these are people who did fan art of my characters. Mostly Buddha. Mostly Buddha. Like I said, Buddha is a very popular character that I have. You know what I'm saying? Is really good. I do have my homeboy. He did Aphrodite, but I can't show it because of TikTok, so in YouTube. But oh damn, it put over here. But yeah, let me stretch it so y'all can see it. Yeah. One of my mutuals, Mrs. Mouse. She did this piece here. She did this piece of Buddha. Um, Loved it. She was like, I said, hey yo, just make your own twist. I said, make your own twist of it. I don't care. Just make your own twist of it. You know what I'm saying? My boy Bad, he got better after this though. But like I said, man, he did my character, man. I want him to do her again to see how he did because he said that the hair was difficult. If I show y'all what Buddha looks like, y'all gonna be like, what the hell? But he said he ain't like the hair. He said the hair was difficult as shit. I'd be like, yo, you ever draw Sasuke Uchiha in different angles? That man hair is difficult. But yeah, he drew Buddha right here, man. Definitely appreciated that. Mouse again. She did Buddha again, but she did come to do this version. Um, I forgot who did this one. They did Buddha, Lilith on the left hand side. The people in the I'll just say who's in the red. People in the red, the characters that's in the red, Buddha's in the center, Aphrodite on the right hand side, Lilith is on the left hand side. At the top, you got Lulu at the top right. That's from Amy the Apex. You got Mars the Slime. She's part of Amy and the Apex. The one in the center, and the one in the left is one of my main characters from Earth Ton of Heroes, which is Tora. She's the Nordic version of Earth Ton of Heroes. So she's the one I told you she's gonna have the 11 issue spinoff. Tora, Daughter of Thunder. She's the one on the left hand side. So yeah, man, I was very proud and very happy to see fan art. Through people's eyes, man, of my characters. I'm glad that people love my characters, man. It's a blessing, man. It's a blessing because that was one of my overthink. That was my overthinkers. One of my biggest overthinkers. Like, damn, would anybody love these character designs? You know what I'm saying? Despite of them, it's not being, they're not popular. They're not. Everybody around the world don't know them. You know what I'm saying? They're not on movies. They don't have their own books yet. You know what I'm saying? But by just the look of them and how many drawings I do of them, well, people love them. And yeah, I got some few people that love them. They can't wait to see them on the pages, man. They can't wait to see them talking in the dialogue. How I really will uh, give them action. Basically, they want to see how they are between character. Between other characters. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really proud that there's people that loves these characters, man. So yeah. Uh, but let me see if I can find. He's really not in here. But yeah, this is the cover. This is the crossover I was talking about, guys. This is going to be on Patreon. Now, this one is going to have the rough sketch. You're going to see early access of the rough sketch, ink work, color, and then you're going to see then you're going to get the full pages and stuff like that with the dialogue and stuff like that. So, like I said, just be ready for that though. Um, but yeah, like I said, Gaia right here on the left hand side, Talia on the right, and then Minerva. Minerva is actually Talia's one of Talia's main villains up here at the in the back. Um, I can't tell you too much about her because I still want to keep her mysterious though. But in Adenas, if everybody's like that, or IDK for short. In this book, there are 4 warlords. I do have warlords in the story. Um, Minerva in the background right there. She is one of the warlords. Um, I can't tell y'all what she's about and everything like that, but just know she don't play no games. She don't play no games. Now she ain't a muscle mommy, but she don't play no games though. Okay. If I could give you a description of her, if you love Drolta, Doltra, I think that's how you pronounce her name, Doltra from Castlevania, you're gonna love Minerva. Now they're not similar, but if I could like I said, if I could compare a character that y'all would know from a known actual show, Doltra. She's just she bad. She bad, man. She bad. But yeah, man, I do enjoy drawing these characters, man. Like I said, man, I can't wait till y'all read these motherfucking stories, bro. I kid you not. I really be like squirming in my chair, be like, yo, I can't wait for y'all to, like I said, because I'm just one guy. I'm one guy. I can't get these. I want to get all these stories out. I just want to be that guy that gets like multiple stories out, even if they're not the official books. At least I could do something like this, like a crossover. You know what I'm saying? Because it does. These crossovers don't got nothing to do with the main continuity of the story. So, um their powers and their personality and stuff like that is going to be just like how they are in their own solo series. But what's going to happen in this crossover itself is completely different You know what I'm saying? It's in the same universe and everything like that. I didn't know I was a vampire until I died. It's in the same universe as Earth Ton of Heroes. But when it comes to Talia and her story, it's just so far apart. Is that's why the title Earth Ton of Heroes Origin or Earth Ton of Heroes is not above I didn't know I was a vampire until I died. It's just its own little thing. So uh there are stories that we've read or heard that has done that where they're both characters live in the same universe but they're completely so apart from each other where like until they cross over you're like what, they're in the same universe, yeah, it's just they don't ever interact, they would rarely interact with each other. But in this particular thing I can give y'all a brief synopsis of it. So in this crossover that I would do for Patreon, um Talia is both of them are new to their powers. Um, for Gaia, she's still an upcoming hero. She's still understanding her abilities and stuff like that, and what she has in store for her main story, her main storyline. Talia, same thing. She's still trying to understand how did she became a vampire and then everything like that. But she's a little bit more far advanced into her story than Gaia will be, right? So for instance, Talia is trying to figure out something. People starting to go missing in a city, right? So uh I can't tell you too much. I can't tell y'all too much, but I'll tell you, I'm such a spoiler to my own damn shit. My bad. I'm trying to word it to where I don't spoil y'all. But like I said, I'm like the Tom Holland to my own damn MCU. Right? Just but Talia is kind of under an investigation, trying to find out why there's missing people, humans that are going missing, and so they happen to her last her lead leads her to a pier, like a old worn out pier or whatever like that, old shipyard or whatever like that, right? Um, in this moment, it's an old hideout for vampires. So they happen to meet each other. In Gaia's perspective, she's kind of the guardian of Earth because of how her powers work. She's actually the warden to all 12 titans of Greek mythology. So her strength is 12 times as strong, and as you know, she has 12 times the strength, 12 times the durability. There's just a lot more to her powers, but for right now, she can only use the earth element right now. So she can conjure up, use earth as a weapon or whatever like that. But it's more for defense, for defense. Her abilities are more for like utility and defense. So she's like a big ass walking tank. Um, each of my characters, if I can describe them like video game perspective, I try to give it like a video game perspective because I have more than one protagonist in Earth Return Heroes. So for Gaia, like I said, she's more of like a tank kind of utility kit character. If I could go a little nerd on gaming, so yeah, but her ability is to construct Earth for now, and so she's a fighter though. She knows boxing. She knows how to fight. She knows boxing though. So she actually knows a fighting technique, which is like I said, which is boxing. So what she does is she uses the earth ability, even though it's only used for defense, she can shape it as a construct to use as gloves. So not only that so it makes it more stronger. So now she has a lot of strength, super strength backing that up, but then also added with earth, she hits harder. He said, "How do you have the time to work on so many stories? I can barely focus on one." Um, so the writing gets neglected sometimes, but when I do write, I spend hours on it. That's what keeps me separated. Keeps it separated. So say for instance, what was the last story I wrote? Oh, the Hellboy fanfic thing. That's the last thing I wrote. Um, like I said, when someone asked me, Grim came in and asked me, how did I write stories? I start with a story base, like just basically like how you start in a normal novel or a book. You're not writing as a script yet. You're just writing a story. You're just getting it together. That's how I do it. I write it, jot it down. I just keep going with the flow. If I feel like something's off, I'll be like, I'll change it. But I just keep writing, keep going with the flow. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, I don't get too many spelling errors, mostly grammar, but at least I don't get no spelling errors. But I keep writing whatever that blah, blah, blah. And I can spend an hour, 2 hours, three, four, depending on how much I got. If I have nothing in the tank in my brain, I stop, save it, start on another day. That's how I do it. I may sound simple, but it is. Like I said, I work like Saitama guys. I'll be like, how that man become One Punch Man? How do he get strong? And I'll be like, shit, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100K. I kid you. It's just like for me, my brain. I'm blessed that I have ADHD, but it don't have me focus on too much. Like I just can just balance it for some reason. I can balance all these stories. I can write them. I can script them. You know, I can draw it all. But when it gets to the drawing phase, that's where that discipline needs to kick in. Because it's like, damn, I did all that. I did the concepts. I did the covers. I did the fun illustrations just to get me to handle the design of the character. I wrote the stories. I wrote the script. So it's like when I get to the comic book, man, so what helps me out right now is I think I took a page from Marcus the Visual or Marcus Williams. I know some of y'all follow him on Instagram or whatever. I took a page from him. He mostly go on live now recently. So if you follow him on Instagram, you'll see how he does his books. So how he does Tuskegee Air is that he'll he'll thumbnail all the pages first. They're not finished. Because what I used to do was I would thumbnail one page and I'll finish the page. Then I'll start on the next one. I think that drained me. I think that what made me not be disciplined enough to do it. So what I do is now, how I'm doing space travel, now, for the two pages I did, because one page just has space and it just has dialogue, the second page has the shit coming in, so I finished the whole thing. But after that, I just straight up thumbnail it, just straight up sketch it all. So that's how I'm gonna start doing it now. And then I'll just go back, ink page, do it like that. So that's how I'm doing it now. I think it's much faster and it's easier on my brain. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm doing it. So that's how I manage my stories and my art to make my comic books. But but yeah, this crossover right here, I think y'all gonna enjoy it. For those who missed out the opportunity to see the pages, I'll show y'all a little stat. I'll give y'all a page. I'll give y'all a page. I'll give you. Ooh, no, can't give y'all that page. It has dialogue on it. All right, I'll give y'all that one. That's one of the pages there for it. Now this isn't new. You can see it on TikTok. You can see it on my page. I do have this for the public to see. But it's just the dialogue won't. The dialogue's not public. So you're not gonna know what they're gonna say, how it started, none until you go to the Patreon. But in this part right here, Talia has a unique ability. Now I always tell people about their abilities. Is no spoiler to their abilities unless it really pertains to the plot itself. Talia's ability does not pertain to the plot because, like I told y'all, each pure-blooded vampire has unique abilities. Talia's ability is when she bites into the person she's trying to, or whatever who is she biting, she gains their form. In this case, she gains a werewolf form. Now, the kicker to why, I can't tell you how she gained it. You just know she has it in this crossover. But I don't tell you how she gets it though. But it's imperfect. It's imperfect though. It's not a perfect form. I will actually draw her perfect vampire form. But the kicker to her form is it becomes the apex version of whoever she bit. So if she bites into a like per se a lichen, aka werewolf, she becomes the apex predator of that species, of that said species. But her powers are still new, so it's imperfect. So she still have her locks and stuff like that, as you see right here in this scene. She still have her locks. The form is kind of bigger in the upper body, in the lower. Well, that's just the form I love. I love like bulky big upper bodies and lower body. But yeah, I love Ben 10. I love Ben 10. So if someone said If someone said to my comic and said something about Talia's power, they're like, "Oh, it's like Ben 10," and I'll be like, "Yes," because I love Ben 10. I love Ben 10, guys, hands down. Y'all see me? I love Ben 10. I'm just gonna stop it right now. I fucking love Ben 10, guys. So, um, I wanted to do that, but even though it's like Ben 10, but it's rare for a vampire to have that type of ability. I have never heard of a vampire that has that ability. Shape shifting, we heard of shape shifting, but to have a vampire drink the blood of that said victim and then actually can go on and off, turn on and off that form. And then it's the apex version of that form. The only person who has done that is Ben 10. But someone who has not, I have never heard of someone who has a vampire story that has done this type of ability. Just know you heard it here first, okay? You heard it here first. If somebody else done it, good shit. Because even though we would have the same powers, but our characters are completely different. So, but yeah, I believe my character is the first person in the indie space to have that ability. Shapeshifting is different because I do have a character that does not shapeshift, but hers is different. She can actually change her whole entire anatomy and biology to fit that same species and become the apex version of it. But this is the last page though. This is the fourth page of it, and then after that, I will be drawing more eventually. And then eventually, who knows? I might do a Kickstarter for it. I might do a Kickstarter and get this book made. Who knows? Just depends on how people want it, you know. But uh, I can't tell you one form. Gaia does get a form. This is her. This is one of Gaia's forms here. It's called Parv of Hinkatocrates. So if y'all are not familiar with Greek mythology, the Hinkatocrates is a is a titan that was one of the first three titans that Gaia birthed, and it's the one with the three heads and many arms. So in this form, she gains a lot of arms, but in particular, she gains two extra arms in the back of the wing of her shoulders, which you see in the back, and then her two arms transforms into like this rock based look. So um, this form is imperfect as well. Because as you see her eyes, they look purplish and everything like that in her form. You won't know. I won't tell you too much details because, like I said, it'll spoil the story. But like I said, if you join the Patreon, like I said, you don't gotta join it. You can join it for free. But like I said, you ain't gonna know about it until you do the membership, whatever. But she's not herself, and so it pushes this form out. Now, this form here is one of many forms. But the power of Hinkatocrates is one of her raw stage forms. You know what I'm saying? Just I love transformations, man. I think everybody loves transformations. I think we all can agree that we all love transformations, right? But it's just something with this form I love a lot. So I kept it. Now she has a form before this. It's just her with tattoos around her arm. I think I have it somewhere. Hold on, let me see if I have the form. I think I have the form here. If I don't, boo hoo for me. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't have it. It's on that other flash drive. Dang, man, I can't believe that flash drive just went out on me, man. It could be in here. Okay, no, it's not on here. Okay, it's not on there. Oh, also, guys, here was the potential covers for Aphrodite and Buddha when I drew them looking like the style that we have now. If they weren't in the chibi version, so this would have been the first issue of Aphrodite and Buddha, the non-chibi version. This is how they will, I mean, this wouldn't have. I drew this a while back, so they probably would have looked different now, though. But this was the first cover. Uh, this was the second cover introducing Athena in church. This would have been my. This is actually church's. I have to draw more church because I haven't drawn her enough. She would actually be my first animal human breed character or anthropology character or whatever. I think it's called. Yeah, I think it's anthropology is the word. But yeah, she will be my first ever. She's a barn owl. I love barn owls. That's like my spirit animal right there. I just something with barn owls. I look at them and I'm just fascinated with the species. So I made a female version of it. But yeah, she's actually my first like beast character. Um, I will have more though, but she's my first. This is another cover I was doing. Like I said, these are the weapons that Buddha has a whip for a weapon. She does have a guitar as a weapon too. It's like a Indian dagger, like one of the. It's hard to tell you what it looks like. I don't know if y'all played Mortal Kombat. If y'all played Rain, if y'all played the character Rain, he has that weapon in his hand. In I think in MK11, he has that weapon in his hand when he was a DLC character. That's what a guitar is. It's an Indian weapon. Um, but the whip is a special weapon that Seven Deadly Sins characters get a special, unique weapon for themselves. So that is Buddha's weapon is a whip, but she used a guitar for her normal weapon. For Aphrodite, she used a double barrel. She's a double barrel. But the way the double barrel is, it's not your typical. She used like bullets or something like that to use a certain unique material that comes out of it. So that helps her abilities better. But for Aphrodite and Buddha, she's the healer in the group. So it's kind of like Aphrodite and Buddha is more of a D&D kind of story. That's why I said fantasy is one of the stories I like because I kind of gravitate towards D&D sometimes too. Now I never played D&D games, but it's just something with D&D I just grasp towards. More recent, I've been into D&D for about maybe 2 3 years now. So anything that came out that's like TV shows or anything like that, I just watch it. Like Delicious in Dungeon, Vox Machina, Baldur's Gate 3, stuff that talks about D&D. I just get interested in it. I just never played D&D before. I would love to. I would love to actually play D&D and try to get interested and know about it and stuff like that. But I don't got too much D&D people. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, I would like to get interested into it. I would like to get involved in that. Have fun. Doing maybe a campaign with something like that with D&D. But this was going to be like a D&D based story and stuff like that. But basically, Aphrodite is the healer in the group. Buddha is like a here it yeah. So if I were to say said it like in D&D terms, she's a cleric. Buddha's a rogue. Morgan is a warrior. Huck is a barbarian. So I'll show you the characters. That for sure, I do definitely know I got the illustrations for. Where they at? Where they at? Where they at? All right, here it is. Boom. So you got Puck, Morgan. Oh, you got Mel too. I forgot I had Mel in there too. You got Aphrodite. You got Buddha. So this is the crew here. Now Quincy, I don't have a full look for Quincy. I don't have a full like that looks like this. I don't have a poster for Quincy yet because he's still a new relevant character. But Puck, if I were to say D&D, she is the barbarian dwarf type. So she's like a dwarf slash barbarian because she was raised by dwarves. But of course, it's like she has horns, so it's a little bit some secret lore hidden behind her backstory. So I can't wait for y'all to read her backstory. But she was raised by dwarves, so she's kind of have like a barbarian kind of dwarf kind of like thing going on. Morgan is a warrior based character. Mel, she's a Gorgon. But she's not part of the crew, but she does kind of like uh join them on certain adventures if it deals with a quest that she like if she needs like an artifact or something. But she's a shop owner. She's actually a shop owner. The crew gets like discounts because she is about the money. Mel is about the money, guys. So she like, so they're like, we don't get no discount. She like, shit, I gotta make money. So, like I said, this story is based off of adventure, storytelling, action, of course, and all that, but a lot of comedy. I would love comedy to be its main source. So like I said, man, for me, comedy is hard to nail down, but I think I just trusting the process, the progress, and I think excuse yeah, I had it right process, but I think I got it. But yeah, Mel, you don't see much of her in the group, but she is a shopkeeper and she just helps the crew out with artifacts, items, and stuff like that. Just help them out here or there. Side character. Buddha, like I said, Buddha has a whole entire new design now. So this is just an old design of her, but this is what she looks like. Like I said, she is like a rogue. She's like the rogue of the group. Mel, like I said, she would be like she deals in magic a little bit too, so she would be like kind of like a I mean, you got warlock, wizard, and sorcerer. So I would think Mel would fit the category like sorcerer. So I'll probably put her in that category if we're talking D&D. Aphrodite, like I said, cleric kind of version, role in the group. And Quincy here, Quincy, woo, he is a halfling. He is a halfling, guys. So he would fit rogue mixed with like a bard character. He knows how to, bro. Like if you roll that dice, bro, his charisma is at a high. So that's why I said, man, Aphrodite and Buddha's story that I'm making is more fitting for D&D. If anybody likes D&D, I think y'all would love Aphrodite and Buddha. Um, because I'm still new with D&D, and I just love like just the core concept of it. I never played a campaign before though, but I love playing Baldur's Gate. I get interested in it, and I just love like TV shows and stuff like that that has that theme in it. But yeah, those are their roles. That's their roles in the crew, and everything like that. So I think y'all would love the story, man. I think y'all would love it. But it is an 18 plus story, so they do have like profanity and nudity and stuff like that, but yeah, it is an 18 plus story. So but the chibi version, it is an 18 plus, but it only goes to a part only in profanity. So they do profanity a little bit in for Aphrodite and Buddha, even for their little chibi cute self. they still talk that cash. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man. So like I said, man, I'm working on a lot of these stories, man. Working on a lot of these stories, and I manage them. I manage them. For some reason I manage them. But like I said, the drawback of it is I can't get them physically out as fast as someone else working on one story or something like that. So that's just the downside to it. So it's like I'm working on them, but that's the sacrifice I have to make. Something, of course, something had to make us, had to be sacrificed, and that's getting them out. Like, so in the meantime, I'm glad Patreon exists, so people are able to, read the books through that. Um, so like I said, once again, you get to read the crossover for Earth Return of Heroes and IDK. You get that crossover story. You get the two fanfics. You get the Chibi's Aphrodite and Buddha. You get what's another? I was making something else too? No, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So those are the main comic books that will have fully dialogue and all that stuff in it on Patreon. But the comic books that will be being that's going to be made and go and become a physical copy: Earth Return of Heroes Gaia, the three spin-offs, Hell's Angels, Thor: Daughter of Thunder, Anarchy. Those are the three stories. Tor deals with the Nordic version, so you're gonna understand her version of being, the daughter of Thor and Lady Sif. So you're gonna just gonna how did she becomes a queen of Asgard? How is she going to prepare herself to become that when Faith already decided that she cannot become because of her condition that she has. Um, Hell's Angels, it's deals in the biblical version of my story. It starts the build up of how Jin becomes a character in the main continuity of Gaia's story. But it talks about other characters. Like I said, Buddha, Maze, and all of them, but mostly Maze. And you got Maze, Ravi, and Ruin and Lilith. They're the main groups to Hell's Angels of Hell's basically like Hell's Furies. Like Greek mythology has the Furies, this is Hell's version. um, so with that being said, Anarchy is a new story. I haven't wrote nothing about Anarchy yet, um, but she is a very interesting character. I think I may have a illustration for her for you guys to see. Yep, right here. So this is Anarchy right here. Now, in her story, straight up, if y'all want action, you got it. Okay, like y'all are going to see like me doing the action packed, gritty, disembodiment type of stuff. Like y'all gonna see her cut limbs off. Like it is going to show you like my Earth Return of Heroes whole entire franchise. It's it's for all ages. It does have some mild language and some mild violence in it, but it doesn't over exceed itself. But Anarchy is going to be a story that's kind of like you're watching Invincible or The Boys or something like something gritty. Like I want to aim to that, so you're gonna understand the underworld version or the underworld part of Earth Ton of Heroes. The crime bosses, the higher powers, everything like that. That's what you're gonna see in Anarchy's story. You know what I'm saying? She is an assassin and a mercenary. She starts out like that, and then you're just gonna understand her backstory and everything like that. Why a bunny mask? Why she does what she does? Everything like that. Um, and then on top of that, I always tell people she is the other half of the coin. She's the other side of the same coin as Gaia. Basically, if the roles were reversed, it would happen that closely. So, in Arc 2 of Gaia, she makes an appearance. And then that's when I start her spin-off series. So I'm not focusing on her spin-off series until after Arc 2. So after Arc 2, going into Arc 3, that's when you get to see her story flourish. But in the meantime, I draw her here and there. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that's where you're gonna get the blood and gore and stuff. But yeah, man, I love her character, man. I think like it's sad. It's a sad story, man. I really feel for her character. I feel it. I feel it every time when I look to see. Like I said, some of y'all might not know about it, but every time when I look at her character, I see sadness in it. Because of how I have the backstory to go, I just feel like she's a sad character. She doesn't talk as much, so she's not going to have a lot of dialogue in her spinoff. She'll have a little bit of conversation here and there, but she doesn't talk as much. Um, Maybe short sentences and stuff, but not a full like conversation. Just like Maze. Maze doesn't talk much, but she talks enough more than Anarchy does. Um, but man, like I said, y'all gonna enjoy these stories. Y'all gonna enjoy these stories, man. I'm telling y'all gonna enjoy this shit. I ain't gonna let y'all down. I told you I ain't about to let y'all down. I'm gonna give y'all peek and nothing but nothing but. But yeah, but shoot, I've been yapping so much, I might have to take a break, guys, because we're already at 2 hours and 45 minutes. But I will join later. I will join later though. I will join later. We'll draw Talia because what stopped me just now from drawing her is because I have to go through all my files, and then I have to grab the concept sheets because like I said, the flash drive went kapooey on me, so I did send myself to another file, but it'll stop the progress of what I'm doing. So it'll stop the momentum we got going on right now. So I don't want it to stop. So, but like I said, man, I'm glad I was able to talk about this. But at the end of the day, guys, the main reason of why we started talking in the first place is that I gotta stop. I gotta stop. I gotta stop humbling myself with my art. I gotta stop being passive. Um, And it's nothing about being. It's not about what you doing and what you didn't do. It's not about if you supporting, if you're not, if you're investing, if you're not. Uh, if you want to see shit, if you want to shit, if you want to really see stuff getting done from an artist, I'm gonna do it. I mean, everybody has their favorite artists and everything like that, but not everybody, unfortunately, can't do what I do. I can help y'all get to where I could do. I ain't afraid about that. I'll teach you how I do it. I'll definitely go. I'll help you. That's why I say that's where the humbleness comes in. That's my personality. That's just me personally. But when it comes to this business, this stuff here, it's blood in the water. Like I said, man, we gotta get it done. Gotta get it done. So like I said, I'm gonna keep promoting my Patreon and stuff like that. I mostly promote mostly on my stories and stuff like that. So that's the most if y'all don't see me post on the page, always check the stories. I'm always tell people to check the stories because I mostly I've been more active on stories than I have been on my posts on those social medias because I've been, if I'm not posting on my pages, it's because I'm working on my stuff behind the scenes. So all that stuff is going to Patreon at the moment. But right now I'm just working on it. So when April 10th hits, put that on your calendar. April 10th. I have a countdown right as I got a countdown now as we speak on my fan art page. I have a countdown going down right now. It's 11 days. Got 11 days left. So everything that I'm gonna be working on is gonna automatically drop over there. Everything's gonna drop. So there's zero. You're gonna be looking at. So when you go on Patreon right now, you're gonna be looking at zero. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be zero sitting in Pick'em Comics. But once April 11th hit, you're probably gonna see about 30, maybe 50 things in that bit. I don't know about 50, but like at least about good like 20, 30 stuff. 30, about 20 to 30 pieces of content that's gonna drop nearly all at once in that. So let me show y'all real quick before I hop off. So because like I said, we're still live on YouTube, so I want to at least show y'all. And we're good. We're good on TikTok because I did put it on like we're promoting something. Hopefully, because I don't know. So like right here, you go on Patreon. This is the first thing that you look at. Now I am on the website. The app will look probably different, but this is the website. If you go on the website, it's just a little bit more nice and cleaner and sleek. So you can do so like I said, I am a part-time NSFW artist. I am part-time Gooner artist. So if you want to check out that stuff, 3 month, $3 a month for that. Um, Now I do offer exclusive prints, stickers, and more in the upcoming future. Not right now, but like I said, when we start getting a lot of people in and stuff like that, we're able to start doing more like to fund that stuff. Trust me, I am not, like I said, I love marketing. So you're always gonna see something. So, but other than that, you can always join the superheroes tier, $5 a month. Like I say, you can see the description and what's offered there. You can get ad free content. You can get work in progress updates digitally, and then you get exclusive content as well. But as well as here, the only difference between the fan art and SFW, you get fan art, you get fan requests. You can do. We're gonna be doing polls. You can request you can request what characters you want to see in SFW, cartoon, anime. You know what I'm saying? I mostly try to stick around that category because that's what my art style excels at. Is anime and cartoon. So if you got any kind of cartoon characters or anime characters that you want to, they gotta be above age, over 18, guys. I don't do nobody underage. Okay. I got some mutuals and stuff like that, or people I follow on Twitter and stuff. They just do whatever they do. But me, I gotta have a line in the sand sometimes, it is what it is for me, man. Just gotta have a line in the sand. I got a kid, man, and stuff like that. I don't do no underage characters, bro, for my Patreon. So anybody under 18, no. You gotta be over 18. So you know what I'm saying? And I know people love their little popular characters and stuff like that they do, but I just don't do it, man. You know. Now, if they are older, like say for instance, if they are older through a certain like age, like as they continued on in their whole entire continuity of their story or their series, I might do some wiggle room in there. I might do some wiggle room in there. You know what I'm saying? As you see, I don't know if you can see it, you can see a little bit of some blur of Velma and Daphne right there in that one little part because they're grown ass people now. They're grown ass kids. Even though they'd be like, you meddling kids, but they're like, oh, they're over 18. Okay. They're over 18. So but yeah, so that's what you'll have to offer. I don't know if I'll make more other tiers. I was thinking about doing other tiers, but usually I just categorize it. Like say for instance, you can go to the can I do it that way? Nope. The collections here. For the collections for the NSFWs, I do have our mascot over here, Demon Lava Girl. So I will be probably doing a little bit something with her character. So she's going to be she's going to be my mascot to Patreon. So like I said, I did draw her design and everything like that on live. So if you haven't seen it, you can see it on my Instagram and stuff like that. You can check it on Pick'em Comics in the link tree in the bio. But yeah, I only have two pieces for her for right now, but you can go ahead and check her out. But I do have 27 pieces already available for the fan art for the NSFWs. If y'all want to check that out, I do have a lot of content already over there. I do need to start filling out my descriptions too. To be honest, I just usually just write a title, but I do need to write some extra, juicy, descriptional details in there. But yeah, like I said, you can go ahead and join in and whatever like that. But like I said, there's the memberships right there and stuff like that. But I hope to see y'all over there soon. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we had to do art, nothing but. But I appreciate y'all. Like I said, I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Make sure y'all take it easy. Make sure y'all get some food in your belly. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to get some food in my belly. Like I said, I'm about to eat. I'm about to get on the phone. And all that stuff. But I do appreciate y'all for stopping by, listening in. I'm glad I was able to give advice, inspiration, motivation, whatever that y'all needed. You know, at this moment earlier this morning, because like I said, I needed it myself, and I had to talk about it. I needed it last night because last night at my job pissed me off because now my back's starting to ache, so I can't sit in this chair any longer. To be honest, I'm probably just gonna just sit. Probably just gonna watch TV or something like fix me up something to eat. Probably read some books and or I go to bed because I was supposed to go to bed when I got home, but never did. Um, at least I'm off tomorrow, so if y'all don't see me on later tonight, um, I won't be dropping. Now I do drop content every Saturday. I either drop content on Patreon Saturday or Sunday or both, depending on what I'm doing. But this weekend that just passed, I was just so busy, and then like everything was just going on, working on the comic book stuff. So I don't have nothing for now. So I will post maybe some old stuff or whatever like that, just to keep it relevant, whatever. But I know I did have the monthly. I still do got the monthly poll going up. So Doltra won the monthly poll for April. So be on the lookout for that. So she will be up there shortly. And then we'll have our next poll later for May. So make sure to check that out. I do polls on Instagram for now. So make sure to check out Instagram to interact with the poll when you get the opportunity. Um, I think next we'll probably, like I said, you just drop some anime characters or whatever like that. I'll probably make a template for you guys. I love making templates for some reason. I don't know why, but I will make some templates. I need to make a template for YouTube to promote my YouTube, and I need a template to promote my polls. Um, so uh, so yeah, just make sure to be on the lookout. Like I said, make sure to keep checking them stories on Instagram. I am very active on my stories on Instagram. Now I do love to support my other artists, my mutuals as well. So y'all might see some artwork up there. I like to drop motivational videos and stuff like that. Funny videos, stuff like and all that jazz. So you're gonna have a mixture of that stuff too. But I always make sure I still post my promotional stuff as well on Instagram. So make sure to check that out. Um, But yeah, other than that, appreciate y'all and y'all take it easy. Peace.